books. Can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Steam play.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Tuesday, November 11th. We've got action here tonight in college football, NBA basketball, NHL hockey, and college basketball. We'll figure out some other things to cover as well. I'm watching the ATP Finals from Torino, Italy right now. And Fritz putting a number here on Alcaraz. Well, at least they're on serve here, but good match. Going to go to a tiebreaker here, looks like, in the first set. Getting ready to join you guys here on the show right now and recap a little bit of the action yesterday. But, man, we already had the first steam of the show right there, huh, when we were popping in here. How about one for getting ready here? It's already been a pretty active morning here, keeping me busy. Yale and Quinnipiac. We've got steam here to the under, and why not, between Yale and Quinnipiac? I got to think that's probably the right move. Steam here to the under in that one. This one did open, around 156.5. We're seeing it down here to 153 right now, as a matter of fact, at Circa. So steam to the under there with Yale and Quinnipiac. How about last night's excitement, guys? Look, I know there's a lot of people complaining on social media, people who, worst game ever, whatnot. I don't know if people understand the difference between just a good defensive football game and what might be bad football. I wasn't necessarily not intrigued by what happened last night between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers, as Philly got the win there, in a defensive slugfest. There's no other way to put it. But again, I don't look at it as being it's sometimes tough to watch when you don't have a lot of excitement. But it was intrigue for sure. A chess match as the NFL's first scoreless first half in 2 years, the first Monday night scoreless first half since 2009. But the Eagles did produce those 10 points in the first three drives of the second half. And Eagles continue to look good in those games with a spread of 3 or fewer points. Man, they've gone 14-2 last 16 in games with spreads of 3 points or less. Green Bay was anemic offensively. Yes, they had their receivers out, but it really looked like the game plan was suppressed. Like they knew they weren't going to. You still got to open it up and expand and give your receivers a chance. They had some drops for sure too. Those guys don't have. It was cold. I understand, but the Packers receivers. Maybe some of the catches were supposed to be spectacular catches, but you're looking for guys to make plays, and they weren't making plays. They averaged only 4 yards per play. So a little bit rugged there for sure, but the Eagles deserved of the win there. Hey, we had the under here on the show yesterday at 45.5 there yesterday as our play on the Morning Steam Show. Packers in their losses, I mean, they, basically only get about 10 points when they are outclassed, which they were there last night. So they've got to either get healthy or get moving here is what it turns out to be when it comes to their offense. Man, these steam plays, we got to catch up here right now. I'll say hello to everybody in just a moment. I'm trying to talk a NFL monologue here, and 3 moves have come in. Rio Grande Valley and Boise under 162 right now taking that steam in that game tonight, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. I will tell you, the steam has already come in on that game on Boise there. And we saw Boise here in this matchup move to as high. It opened as low as 17 and now is 18 there right now with Boise, and the total moves here from 162 down to 160.5 with that steam that came in right there on the under in that one between Rio Grande Valley and Boise. Another one right behind it, with Drexel and Colgate. Steam to the over in this one with Drexel and Colgate. It was 137, but right now we're seeing steam coming in here in the game between Drexel and Colgate. This one's going much higher here right now. Total in this one currently at 140.5, a 3.5 point move there possibly with Drexel and Colgate taking the steam to the over. Also, while we were in the monologue there, Toledo and Wright. Steam to the over in this one at 157.5. That one I'm a little perplexed, but steam to the over here with Toledo and Wright State. This is basketball, 157.5, but I know that today we got, for example, Western Michigan. Don't make the mistake playing basketball and football today, I believe. But with Toledo and Wright State here, this total now is up here near 160 with that steam to the over right now with Toledo and Wright State. Also, Loyola Maryland took the steam in their game today. Loyola Maryland up against New Jersey Institute of Technology, NJIT. We see the steam here coming in on Loyola Maryland for their game at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. And we're seeing that one move higher here too. 8.5. Open 7. It's now 8.5. I can't even keep up with these moves. I'm glad you're here. Creighton and Gonzaga is moving right now. This one's just come in seconds ago. Steam to the under in a Creighton and Gonzaga game. If you like the over in a matchup like this, hold on. You're going to get a discount because the steam is coming in right now on the under in this one between Creighton and Gonzaga. It was 166, but we're seeing it go lower in Creighton and Gonzaga. How about that? Down here to 164.5. It actually opened 167. So steam to the under in a Creighton and Gonzaga game. We'll preview that one. How about that? Also, moments earlier, Florida Gulf Coast. They took the steam in their matchup against Georgia Southern. Gulf Coast opened about a 1-point favorite, but that steam has come in here on that matchup at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. It's a heavy card there at that 7 o'clock hour. And Florida Gulf Coast is up to a 3-point favorite right now. They open 1. They're up to 3. Gulf Coast taking the steam. Gulf Coast Credit Union. All right, see where I'm all caught up right now, and I want to talk a little of the NBA highlights, but let's make sure we get all that steam out of the way. You want to keep up. Talked about last week how that steam came in at close to 67% last week. Well, how did it do on Monday? 20-13 was that steam, so be on the lookout for these moves. They're definitely clicking at nearly 65% so far this season. I'm not sure it'll do that all year, but it may. And remember, you're always paying the tax, but you are on the side of the sharp, so to speak. Yeah, they dummy them up. You're not going to go blind on these. Not always going to hit 65%, but we get on these moves early. You are saving some value against that CLV. Just check your line, shop around quickly when you hear the move. I'll try to get it to you as soon as possible here on the Morning Steam Show. And I like to do it. That's how I have a little fun when I'm here with you guys. You guys make it fun for me, but certainly want to make sure you guys are getting the best information here, try to give you some winners here on the Morning Steam Show. Hey, I'll try to give you some winners here in these games here in just a moment if we can ever get to it. But I do want to talk about some of the action here from yesterday, certainly. In the NBA, man, how about it? Dozens, dozens, buzzer beaters, comebacks. It was an exciting night in the NBA last night on a Monday night. How about Miami? How about Orlando? How about Detroit? Some of these guys doing it in exciting fashion there last night, and we did bring you some winners here on the Morning Steam yesterday, didn't we? We had the Lakers yesterday laying those points against Charlotte. They got it done here on the Morning Steam Show. Portland and Orlando, it did go under for sure. We had the winner here on the Morning Steam yesterday. Also, we had the over with San Antonio and Chicago here for a winner on the Morning Steam. We had the over in Milwaukee and Dallas. It might have been, or the under in Milwaukee and Dallas. To be fair, it did close 229 and it finished 230. So when we talked about it on the air, it was as high as 231. Maybe that was a push for some people. Let's not get carried away, Ramon. But we did have Utah yesterday. They got the money there for sure, for everyone. I would think if they were on them at plus 7.5 there yesterday. The move was on Utah. I don't know if anybody would have got shafted with a 7 there. And yeah, Hawks and Clippers under, easy winner here on the Morning Steam Show. I'm going to say hello to the folks because the chat is piling up here right now. I hope my mic is on. It's so hectic in the chat. Nebraska just took the steam here just seconds ago in their matchup today. It is Nebraska here getting the steam. They're laying a big number for sure in their matchup tonight against Maryland Eastern Shore. Nebraska was a 33-point favorite, but man, they're taking them here. Nebraska at home. This one going much, much higher. This one's at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. Nebraska's a 35-point favorite, 2-point move on a big spread over Maryland Eastern Shore tonight in Lincoln. Let me say hello to the folks, and I'm sure some more steam will come in any second. That's why we're here in the morning in college basketball. I've picked like 10 games to look at tonight because I like the board so much. Cash Kane is here. Nuke is here as well. He had the Eagles on the money line. Joe W. steps in for us today. Art Thompson's here. Bobby Mack is here. Hey, everyone, like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. If you had I did have the under Nuke. I was reading social media. I saw everybody comparing this to two bad teams, but I didn't see it that way. I was intrigued by the game, didn't know which way it was going to go necessarily, so I had no problem with it. I think it's kind of funny, right, when we get a 0-0 halftime game. Tariq is here as well. Good morning to Damon. Sports Money is in the house. AOD is here today. Greg Gibson says Atlanta on the money line. And AOD talking Detroit. I mean, why not? Why not, AOD? What a comeback. Look, playing the Washington Wizards, you don't want to go down losing to them or having a tough game. But the bottom line is when you're a team like Detroit that's really starting to feel their oats, so to speak, that coming back to win against anybody when you're playing as well as they are does feel like a positive, right? Because they're still not learning how to win necessarily. They've been on the improve here with this. And Cunningham, of course, what a performance. Injured, still had great numbers in the game despite missing time there in the game as well. And I think the great thing about that was his numbers, man, unprecedented numbers really for Cunningham. Historical output here right now for the Detroit superstar. All right. Radford is taking some steam here right now. We'll keep going with hopefully some winners or some winning information for you guys. Remember, if you like the other side, wait on these moves. But Radford is taking the steam here against North Carolina. Wow. You know what? I actually put that one down to preview because Radford's looked pretty good so far, and they're taking the steam here against Carolina. They were getting 21 and a half. It's only been 2 games. Not going to go overboard, but I did look at this game as one of our preview games, believe it or not, here because of how Radford has looked so far with a couple of wins. So thought we'd preview it, but right now that steam is coming in on Radford. They're down to 20, maybe 19 and a half here right now in the game against North Carolina. It's definitely Radford taking the steam. Also right now, steam coming in on Austin P taking on
Steam play. Steam play.
Oh, whenever you're done. Whenever you're done, Steam. Let me regroup because they're just lining up one on top of another. I want to get to the latest one first. Appalachian State and Ohio State. Steam to the under here in this one. Third game on the board, 605, 606. And the totals being steamed to the under here with Appy State and Ohio State. It was 148.5, but that steam coming in right now is pushing it down to 146.5 right now at Bet Online. This is another one where if you kind of hurry here, maybe get some good action. It's down to 146.5. Couple books look slow here to move on this one, probably with the rash of action coming in right now. Also, we talked about the Austin P game. Let me get back to that one. Austin P, both the side and the total are getting hit here in this one with Austin P. And P is getting steamed here right now. Let me make sure I got let me make sure I got the COVID. Let me make sure I got the right. There it is. Okay. Austin P is taking that steam. Oh, last game. Here we go on the board. They were getting 5.5 from Wyoming, but now Austin P is getting steamed here as we speak. It's almost over. It's almost over. The move is almost over. Wow. And right now it's down to 4.5. So move from 6.5 to 4.5 on Austin P. Seconds ago, Central Florida is taking the steam here right now in their matchup. Central Florida here taking on Florida A&M. Central Florida was a 24-point favorite against Florida A&M, and right now Central Florida is moving higher. They're the team taking the steam here right now. Florida A&M against Florida A&M. Central Florida here is up to a 26.5 point favorite. That 2.5 point move on Central Florida here currently keeps it going. With our, did we ever finish that Austin P matchup? Like I said, the side and the total has moved there in P at 153.5. 153.5 there. It was 154, 153.5, but the move has come in here on Austin P and Wyoming. Steam here right now, and this one has gone lower here to 152. So about a 2-point move right there with Austin P and Wyoming. Hey, there was a move in the NBA just moments ago. Here comes another college move. This is great fun. Knicks and Grizzlies steam to the under. The Grizzlies were already steamed overnight here a little bit. They got moved from 9.5 down to 8.5, but it didn't matter. Public, the steam, more reverse steam. Maybe it was a setup because that game ended up moving to as high as 10.5. But we are definitely seeing steam to the under here right now with Knicks and Grizzlies. This total is moving lower here to 231.5 right now on some steam here with the Grizzlies and the Knicks. We'll get that information to you, but there is more with Maryland taking the steam here right now. Maryland getting the move as we speak. This one's pretty fresh for sure, just coming in right now with Maryland in their matchup today. Maryland is taking the action against Alcorn. Maryland was a 30.5-point favorite here against the Braves, but right now Maryland is definitely moving higher here at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. They're up to a 32-point favorite, 1.5-point move on a big spread with Maryland against Alcorn. Also, just moments ago, Morehead State and Clemson on the big board. This one got steamed to the over with Morehead and Clemson. This one moving to the over here right now. It was 146.5, but that steam has come in here on the over with Morehead State and Clemson. And right now, this one has moved to 147.5, just a 1-point move there. In that one, I think we might have covered them all. Let me see here. Just make sure. Yep, we're all caught up. Let me keep saying hello to folks in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for being patient here. But, hey, I think that's better than me just rambling off some picks. Robert here, tons of college hoop, and that's why we're getting this action, huh? And Kansas there, at least somebody won, right? And how about everybody that were on the Wizards last night getting that money? Hey, Buffalo and DePaul are getting steamed right now to the over. This one's coming in fresh with Buffalo and DePaul. Steamed to the over. Good game here, right? You look at these two teams. I put it in the preview, even though it's a 19-point spread. Buffalo's not playing too bad so far. Yeah, maybe they played some easy games, but right now it's steaming to the over with Buffalo and DePaul here. It was 150. Let's see, 154, but this steam is coming in here on. It was 152.5. It was 152. Steam is coming in here on the over in this one right now. We're up to 154 with Buffalo and DePaul. That's kind of the original number. They originally were. That one was going lower overnight. All right, we'll see if we get more, but I don't know. The AOD is ready to ride the steam train. Don't ever lay large points with Connecticut. I don't know. They just won a game by 69 points the other night, but not last night for Connecticut as Columbia got the cover there. All right. And look, Terrell says, you know what? Let's think about how it was cold there last night too, right? And I talked about that, right? Terrell, the receivers of Green Bay, maybe they weren't ready for the frozen tundra. Damon, good morning and hello. Greg says Utah was money. The Lakers were money there. And Greg said, what about that under in the game? Mike is here today. Wishing everybody a good morning. Robert talking NHL hockey from last night. And hey, how about the card there from Monday? And we didn't have them all here on the morning steam. I know that for sure. But we did come through with a couple of wins here. We had the over there in the Blue Jackets and Oilers game there yesterday. That one definitely went over there. But that's really all I could string together, I think, in the NHL. I think we had a subpar card in the premiums there. I liked the NHL last night. Didn't quite work out for me, but we got a nice card today to talk about. All right. Greg's ready. He's making picks already. Texas Tech and Illinois over. He likes Army against Duke, and he's giving out scores galore. Florida tonight. Let's get some more steam, though, here with UAB taking the steam in this one. UAB right now is on the move here on the Morning Steam Show. So is Princeton. Let me get Princeton first. Princeton taking the steam here right now as well here on the Morning Steam. Princeton taking the move against Bucknell. Princeton was a 3.5-point favorite, but right now they're moving higher. The steam is on Princeton here, and they are currently at -5 at the high point here. Princeton just took the steam, and also just mentioned there moments ago, UAB taking the steam in their matchup here tonight. UAB is up to here right now. They opened 17. Man, they're going north of 19 here, it looks like. This is a bigger move for sure with UAB right now, and they are up to an 19.5 point favorite, 2.5 point move there right now on UAB in their game tonight against Alabama State. All right, man, I'm having some fun here and hopefully catching up with your comments. There's Laker Boy. Good morning and hello. Greg getting all of his plays in here. He's got the Pacers here. He loves Buffalo. And the poll had it right there. Mike says our chat was sharp with the Eagles there yesterday. And hey, why not check out tonight's featured game on the poll here from the Sports Money Network? And we've got a matchup between Golden State and OKC. I think these are straight up polls. So Thunder's a pretty big favorite in that one tonight. And is that the big game of the night for you guys? And Dirty Red says he'll lay the points. Man, I think I'm finally caught up. Breaking news here right now, and Joel Embiid will make he is in tonight. He's probable for that game against the Boston Celtics. We'll see if that sends the game on the move here, you guys. Look, Philadelphia was down to a 1-point favorite here. They opened as high as 3, but moved lower here to 1, but Embiid is in. Let's see if the move comes in and follows that right now. Maybe it won't. Again, a lot of people say, hey, he's not. They're not even as good with Embiid in there. Get him out of there. Long Island and Air Force. Here's some steam coming in right now on the over in this one with Long Island and Air Force. It was 136.5. It had been moving down here, and now the Sharps are coming in and hitting this one. It may have opened as high as 138, but Long Island and Air Force here back up to 138 right now from a low of 136.5. Maybe they dummied that one up because that one's taking steam to the over here. All right. And look at that. Greg said Packers couldn't beat Cleveland and the Panthers. You know the Eagles were going to win that one last night. All right. And they had just enough to get that win there yesterday, and good performances there from Jalen Hurts and company. All right, just one other piece of news here. I think we're ready to go with the show. But the Giants fired Brian Daboll on Monday after we were off the air. The Giants were 9-7-1 back when Daboll first came about, but 11-33 since then. 2-8 this season. He was making $5 million. Of give him 7.5 to take a hike. And Daboll, the one thing he did do right was kind of bring in a rookie quarterback, Jackson Dart, and kind of did a good job. They did a good job here with Dart because you look at the kind of the quarterbacks that they've been throwing out there, and Dart, other than being totally possibly decapitated before the end of the season, he is. There is a little something to his game for sure. And he also, in the last game, he became the first quarterback ever with rushing touchdowns in 5 straight games. How about that? First quarterback ever with rushing touchdowns in 5 straight games. Can you believe out of all that? Not first Giants touchdown, first ever. So, but rookie quarterbacks who start, that usually gets your coach fired. I mean, it already happened in Tennessee. So, goodbye, Daboll. Steam coming in here real quick right now. Chicago State and Butler. This one's getting steamed to the under. I tell you what, I like that one here. I got to agree with this move. I think at 163.5 it was with Chicago State and Butler, and that's when it got steamed here just moments ago. And right now we're seeing this one move lower here with Chicago State and Butler. This total is down here to 161. 2-point move right now, Chicago State and Butler. All right, Greg says Toronto wins today. We'll get to the NBA here in just a moment, but hey, you guys can get more picks from me here every day on the Morning Steam Show. But hey, I'm not done. I just don't go to bed right away. Go to bed for a couple of hours maybe if there's no good games on, and the weekend's a mess. But other than that, I've got more picks for you when I get ready to go in the afternoon. Usually right before Mike's show comes on, I like to get my packages ready for the day, and I'll send you more winners, my well-researched, and the winners closer to game time. These are going to have a stronger efficiency, if you will, or stronger methodology as we approach game time and the line settles. So you can get those plays over at winnable.com/Ramon and join me over there for my premium picks here with the Sports Money Network for just 40 cents a day. When you subscribe for 1 month at $19.95, use the promo code WINNER. I'll give you an extra week, give you 5 weeks for $19.95. It actually comes out to $16.10, I think, and then throw on the extra week. It's about 40 cents a day. So if you like this show and it works for you, this is how you support me here on the channel. Mikey's agreement with me is I get to come on and talk about it. Now they're on the winnable team as well. I'm so proud of that. So get all the plays from me, from Mike, from Jeff, from Sean as well here with Winnable. And use the promo code STEAM when you use my account. They should do it too, but I do it. My account on Winnable is use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. Why wouldn't the other, Mikey, why don't you guys do it? Anyways, use that promo code STEAM. They have their own promo codes. I'm kidding, but you can get us over at winnable.com. All right, one more, you guys. Navy getting steamed against Penn State. Navy was a 13-point underdog against Penn State here today, but the move is coming in, and right now it is. Right now, the move coming in. I know it's coming in 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, and it is down to 10. This is a 3-point move here. Maybe it already moved to 12, but still 2.5, 3. Move on Navy here right now in that one. All right, and Mike says, I give 25% off. Well, I trumped you there. I got the extra in the extra week. Remember, if you get any of those other packages, I always throw on some extra days for sure. What about Daniel Jones? Do you think that played a part in Daboll's firing? Well, man, you think about it, right? I don't know if it did, but because who makes the moves, when someone leaves the organization there too a little bit. Now, there wasn't just Daboll that totally got fired there. So, okay, Dirty Reg FSU here. All right. Thanks, you guys, and thanks for listening. We got to start this show, start with the previews, get it rolling here. We got a pretty big card, and I picked a lot of college basketball. By the end of the show, it'll sound like Sunday. Okay, here we go. Let's get them in here and get going. I'm going to start with the NBA. And I just thought I'd pick a great one here to get the show going, the Raptors and the Nets. So sorry, gang. Could we get some steam or something? All right, here we go. Let's get it rolling here right now in this one. In fact, there is a little bit of a move coming in on Brooklyn as we speak. Not official steam, but I see it going down to 10 here, even 9.5 at DraftKings. There's clearly a move coming in right now in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a steamy here. This one looks like a pretty good move, actually, down to 10 here, I'd say, maybe 10. I'm going to knock off a half a point for sure. The board is red on the Raptors right now. Total here has moved higher for sure to 230. I'll call it 234, I guess, maybe 233.5, but I see a 235 shaded to the under right now at Bet Online. So feels like the move anyway is a little bit to the over here in this one, but you got Toronto here. Hey, Toronto's been pretty hot here of late, although they did lose last time out to Philadelphia, 130 to 120 to snap a winning streak. For Brooklyn here, it's pretty bad. Right now, 1-9, currently 3-7 against the spread. They've actually been able to cover a couple of games that they lost, but still highly subpar here currently. And, they just have looked very, very bad. 1-9 straight up, 0-5 straight up at home so far this season. They've been underdogs in every game. It's so bad that even this mediocre Toronto club comes in here as a double-digit favorite on the road, although, like I said, getting a little bit of action here for sure are the Raptors. Maybe it's a little too high, but I don't know if it is. They actually opened as low as 9, and then it kind of went up. Cam Thomas is out here for Brooklyn in this one still. He's missed a couple of games now. Day'Ron Sharp, questionable.
Steam play.
got some steam here. Got to get this in. And also, Mamu Kalashvili is questionable for Toronto. Not a big deal, but I just like saying Mamu Kalashvili. All right, we got some steam, though, right now, real quick. Duke is taking some steam here in their matchup today. Here's Duke. They're on the added board. You guys already talked about them, right? Against Army. It's the Coach K special game here today with Duke going to play Army. Coach K will be the focal point, I think, when these two teams meet today, and Duke is taking the steam here in this one. Of course, Coach K started with Army. We know that. Went on to greatness, and Duke is a 33-point favorite right now. They opened 30, 3-point move on Duke to crush them. Come on, you don't think that Shire is going to go in there and put the hurt on Army on Coach K night, are they? They're just going to take it easy on Army. Come on, you don't want to go blowing up Army here, but Duke is taking the steam at minus 33.5. I think I don't think I had that one previewed, but the total here also in that game is up to 150 and a half. Anyways, I'm talking Raptors and Nets, and I want to hear from you guys in the chat and your plays here right now, and I'll make my play in this one with Toronto and Brooklyn. Brooklyn so far 4-1 to the over at home. They're 7-3 to the over overall. Toronto's a 50-50 proposition on the totals here so far this season, but you do have pretty frequent matchup here between these two teams. 10 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but Brooklyn's gone over in 4 of their last 5. Toronto's gone under in 4 of their last 5 right now. Toronto has covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams. I'm laying it. Maybe it's a discount. I'm going to lay it with Toronto. I think Brooklyn is maybe unprecedentedly bad here, and I'm going to lay 10 points with Toronto on the road. They're nothing special, though. I know that a couple of these games for Brooklyn, they maybe were playing a little bit better teams at home and not covering, but they lost to Detroit by 20, I think, and got blasted at home by Minnesota, by Philly, but I'm going to take Toronto here. Your comments are welcome in the chat on this one. And I want to say hello to our man always coming through, Arthur Mead. Thank you for the dono and appreciate your support of the Sports Money Network. Nets to cover, says Cash King. Bobby Max on the over here in this one. And Jermaine said, I said Markkanen was going to have a good one. Damon says Raptors smash. Arthur, though, does take the Nets here tonight. And Nuke says we need the fixes in there. One betting note here today: Major League Baseball has asked that illegal operators limit pitch bets to $200. Do books actually need that kind of advice? What an embarrassment for the books to be basically taking bets upwards of nickels and dimes. Were they really doing that? That's a problem on the operators, right? I mean, look, we saw the news yesterday, and I know everybody got their panties in a jumble because of the announcements of the indictments there. But remember, those guys, Mike told you, right? Mike said we were already on the case with this story months ago when it broke with Class A and Ortiz. When that story broke, we were covering it. Everyone else, I don't know if they kind of missed it in the news, but there's a reason why Class A wasn't on the roster for the last 2 or 3 months there of the season. Remember when he got suspended? So, I mean, now everyone's getting all excited again, but that's an old story. And Mikey told you, we were all over that story back when it broke. So just because now the indictments are coming down there, and it just shows how dumb. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys how dumb can you be, right? We're only tracking this shit. Everyone has to put. I don't know about you, but I mean, you can walk up to a window and get a bet. No one has any problem with walking up to a physical window, putting a nickel or a dime down and getting some bets. But when you're doing live betting on the internet, right, there should be limits in place on those bets by operators, and then, of course, the betting that takes place. When you see one pitch and there's like $400,000 on it. I mean, we got you. We got you. All right. Bet over on IU and the Indy Jaguar. Oh, man. We bet on the over every game on the Indy Jaguars, right? When are they going to catch up? Raptors here for Nine Legacy. NHL's been free money. Then let me know. Irish King, stick around. I think on a losing day there in that one. And let's see here. Also, Boston and Philly. We're seeing some steam here right now on the over in the Boston-Philly game. Now, this one did get dummied down a little bit, so it did go as low as 230.5, but right now we're seeing as high here back up to 232.5. I would imagine probably going to go to that for sure, 232.5 or higher. Steam to the over here with Boston and Philadelphia just moments ago. Steam to the over in that one. All right. And let's see here. Jerry says that game start. I don't have that game actually. So are you looking possibly, Jerry? Is that a women's game or am I missing something there with IU? He says starts at 11:30. Is that right? I don't have that. I don't have that game myself on my radar. I would think it would be on the rotation if it was IU and IU Indy. I just figured if that game was 200 might be the total. Good morning to Justin here as well. Ja to go under, says Jermaine. Raptors over for Justin. Nets are on the under. And Cam still out with that hamstring going. Missed a couple of games. Going to miss another. Jerry says Green Bay is overrated. He told you guys you aren't listening to Jerry. He said Green Bay overrated. Raptors team total over. And Greg Gibson just says all sports are fixed for years. Oh, Greg. Yeah. Hey, Greg, stick with me. I know who they fixed the games on. We're tracking it right here on the morning steam. Truth Teller, everybody. Say hello to Truth Teller. I also want to say happy Veterans Day, everyone, to those who have served. We honor you today and every day. Here on Veterans Day. I know it's a federal holiday, but we're not all closed down here pretty much. I know we're working here today, but I want to happy Veterans Day to anybody who is out there who has or is still serving. You're the ones being honored today. We know we miss those who've lost, and yeah, we have a special day for them too. We do want to think about those that have served and we've lost them, but it's all about the you folks that are currently serving or have served and are still with us here on Veterans Day. All right, Justin's got the over here. Truth Teller had a great night, and the fact that he's here makes me happy. And Greg says, Pete Rose, you remember him writing those $2,000 and $3,000 bets with a private bookie? Pete Rose didn't know what he was doing. He was just a gambler like you and me. I mean, he played every game on the card. That's a man I can appreciate, Pete Rose. All right. No Cam, no problem. In Brooklyn, Jermaine had those marketing props, and the Blue Jays lost 3 players from last season. What? I didn't hear about that. You mean to tell me that they've got free agents leaving the world champs? All right. Let's keep it going right now here in the NBA and get to look. Here it is right here. We just talked about the moves, and I've got the Grizzlies and the Knicks. That total's stale, man. This one's 10 and 231.5 after that steam came in on the under in this one between the Grizzlies and the Knicks. Take a look. For the Grizzlies here, coming in with a 4-7 record right now. Pardon me, you guys. I was eating Oreos for breakfast. The groceries came in just in time at 4:30 in the morning, just like I like them. The Knicks here on a 4-game winning streak right now. They're 6-3 overall, coming in with this hot streak. All of a sudden, the Knicks 4 covers in a row in those victories. They are 6-3 against the spread, 6-0 against the spread at home. Meanwhile, Memphis, they're 3-8 against the spread, 0-3 against the spread on the road, and 0-6 against the spread as an underdog. I want to continue this game here, but I got to punch in some steam here, if you will, with Iona and Missouri, Kansas City. First game on the board. This is what I think the first game on the board is at 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 Pacific. Please give me that information on that IU game because I don't have it. But I have this as the first game on the board at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Iona and Missouri, Kansas City. Here's steam to the under. I can get behind this, I think, for sure. Here comes the steam to the under in Iona and Missouri, Kansas City. It was 159. It's down to 156 right now. 3-point move here. Iona and Mo KC. Steam to the under here. This one's at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So we got an early start here from what I am showing. Also, High Point took some steam. High Point took some steam just a moment ago in their matchup against Jacksonville. High Point was a 15.5-point favorite, and they took the steam right now, and they are up to 18.5 here right now. 18.5 at DK. All the books are trailing DK right now. It looks like they went all the way up. They might have to come back, but it went from 15.5 all the way up to 18.5 there. 17.5 the other books right now. High Point just took the steam. All right, so I'm going to continue on, though. A lot of trends, right? Favor here the Knicks right now. If you look at it, Knicks 6-0 against the spread at home. Memphis 0-6 against the spread as an underdog. Why wouldn't you maybe take the Knicks here to blow them out? Maybe Memphis will start to hang in. We know Ja has played well sometimes in New York. Richmond is taking some steam here right now, you guys, in their matchup against William and Mary. Richmond was an 8.5-point favorite. The steam already came in on the over in that game as well, so you can look at it two ways. That was a little bit older, though. I'm going to tell you about the move right now with Richmond and William and Mary. It's at Richmond. Both teams come in 2-0. In fact, I think we have this game previewed, so Richmond here is up to a 10-point favorite. It was 8.5. And the total, which was 157 at the opener, we just mentioned that it was steamed already. We wasn't on the air, but just goes to show you. It's 162.5. 5.5-point move on that total since it got steamed before we were on the air there, I think. But it was 157 up to 162.5. Okay, enough about I don't know how much more I can stand talking about this game. Memphis is 2-5 against the spread last 7 in New York. Memphis is obviously struggling here right now. 1-7 ATS in their last 8. Knicks have covered 4 of their last 5. 8 of the last 11 meetings between the two teams have gone under. I've got the Knicks in a blowout here right now. 6-0 ATS at home. Maybe it's too much, but I'm going to go with the Knickerbockers here in this one. And I'm showing some 9.5s even out there right now. Let's see your comments in the chat. And I've got another steam move coming in here right now. And let's see here. Let's see. Oh, Dave Terrell, great. Hey, Truth Res ready to bet some action. Terrell, he's from great NAS North Island, Coronado. How about NASCAR is going to run Terrell a race on that big flat area? They're going to run a big race out there at Coronado Island. How about that? NASCAR coming to Coronado Island. They're going to honor the military also during that race. So that's going to be awesome. I thought at first they were going to, remember I broke the news. I thought I broke the news. They were going to race down the Silver Strand, but I don't think they're going to do it. I got it wrong there. I got duped by someone who didn't really know what they were talking about after I listened to them talk. Temple is taking some steam here right now in their matchup. We've got Temple on the move here. We've got to report it. Temple in their game against LaSalle. Temple was a 6.5-point favorite. And right now the steam is coming on Temple. They're up to an 8-point favorite here offshore at a very popular book. So about a point-and-a-half move there on Temple. We're reporting to you these breaking line moves. Knicks team total over here for Justin. Robert likes the under, and he likes the Knicks. And right, Nuke, they made a cereal one time. Right? Remember they said, we'll just put a bunch of Oreos and call it cereal. And a Packers player said, we're going to go undefeated this season, says Terrell. Greg's got it here. Knicks by 11, 233. Greg says, take Army here. Tonight's going to be money. And Fernando, let's honor Fernando Mendoza. He's going to win the Heisman. He's in the bathroom there taking a selfie, and going to be a high draft pick as well. Our own Fernando Mendoza. He's got Brunson over 29.5 points. Tariq says the Knicks will make another statement win here. And Greg likes LaSalle today in their matchup. All right, we just mentioned this one moments ago. We talked about that steam that came in here, Boston and Philadelphia. How much is this? How much do I have to adjust this line? I think it's interesting, though I put the line up there from, usually it's a couple of hours old when I put the lines in. So when I do that little change, you're seeing maybe where the line has been over a couple of hours if I do change it and move it. And this one,
Steam play.
Let's get the steam out. We've got Sacramento State taking the steam here in their matchup against Cal Santa Barbara. How about that? Sacramento State. They were a 9.5-point dog, but right now Sacramento State is taking the steam here against Cal Santa Barbara. This is a matchup of two 2-0 teams. So right now that steam is taking it to 8.5 here, it looks like. It was 9.5, maybe down to 8.5 here. It doesn't look that strong right now, but we were on it early, so it might keep moving here. Sacramento State. The Hornets taking the steam against the Gauchos of UCSB. All right, the Celtics come in here 5-6. The Sixers come in 6-4. Not a great record, but what do the Sixers do? They cover the spread, baby. Remember, cover the spread? I do. Sixers here are favored by 1 right now, I think. Maybe it's gone down to 1 here. Maybe there's some 1.5, but it does feel like 1. The total here is probably 231.5, 232 on that move that we talked about. Boy, the weather has turned here. So got the Sixers favored. They're the money-making team, aren't they, right now, you guys? They're 8-1-1 against the spread. Some people have them 9-1 against the spread right now. They're 4-1 against the spread at home. We know they're just 6-4 overall, but they are 4-0 as a favorite. Whether or not they'll be a favorite in this one at game time, I'm not sure. But they are right now, and it's relatively close here with Embiid now ruled as probable. And really, we didn't see the move. That's because maybe Embiid just doesn't get the respect anymore. Paul George is out. Johnny Broom is out as well here for Philadelphia. Hauser probable for Boston coming into this one. But, man, Boston here just 2-4 on the road against the spread as an underdog. I'm going to take Philadelphia here, especially now here at 1.5. I'm going to take the Sixers here tonight. Where's Nasty Nate? We know Boston's going to smash, but I'm going to go until he gets here. I'm going with Philly tonight. Just to mention a little bit here, Philly in the series against Boston. Here, Boston is just 2-4 the last 6 against Philly. 5 of the last 6 between the two teams have gone over here, and that steam came in on the over. All right, some more steam here right now. Just moments ago, speaking of Nasty Nate, Rhode Island is taking the steam here right now in this one. Rhodey is taking that steam, and they were a 14-point favorite in their matchup with Stonehill. But right now, Rhode Island has taken that steam, and they're going up higher here right now to 15.5. And this one, about a point and a half move on Rhode Island in this one. All right, here, same time right now as we got the big one here at 8:10 Eastern. And
steam play.
Got some steam coming in here right now on Old Dominion in their matchup with Norfolk. Old Dominion was a 7.5 point favorite. We can get on this one quick, you guys, if you want, because I'm getting it to you. Norfolk here, Old Dominion here was a 7.5 point favorite. They opened as low as 6. It did start to move higher, but now this steam is taking it much higher, and we're seeing 9s even juiced up a little bit. It's at least 9 here right now with Old Dominion and Norfolk. Old Dominion taking the steam. All right, let's continue on, though, with a good game here tonight between Golden State and OKC. Golden State coming in here 6-5. They're really bad on the road, though, so far. It looks like it could be. We did say, though, last year was kind of a problem. They still were able to grind through the regular season a little bit, struggling on the road, and then eventually they were okay on the road, making some exciting playoffs. But we'll see if they can got to win some out there on the road. You can't just mail it in every time and be out if you're Curry or whatever. Here's some steam right now coming in with Jacksonville and High Point. Just mentioned that game, didn't we, between Jacksonville and High Point? We said that steam came in on High Point, driving it from 15.5 to 18.5. Now here's steam to the over with Jacksonville and High Point. It did open around 156 and drifted down overnight to 153.5, and now it's getting hit back to the over. So subtle there for sure, but the steam just came in. It was 153.5, and steam has come in here on Jacksonville and High Point, and now it's back up to 158. Holy schmighties. 158 there, Jacksonville and High Point taking that steam. Over. Okay, so the Warriors are 1-5 against the spread on the road. OKC has not been a great spread team. They're a great team at winning and not covering. That's been kind of their what's been going on this season, right? I mean, they're 10-1. Every game they've been a favorite, but they're just 6-5 against the spread, 2-2 against the spread at home. They've actually played 7 road games so far and just 4 home games, but Golden State just bad on the road right now. Here, not only 1-5 straight up, but 1-5 against the spread. So, gosh, are you really going to trust them even here with a little bit of a bushel of points? I'm not. I've got the Thunder in another blowout here. Why not? When they get look, they weren't covering at first, but they're starting to cover now, it seems like here. And Jalen Williams, the guard, he's out for the Thunder. Wiggins is out. Dort is out as well. Curry is upgraded here to probable. He's missed there. He was ill, remember. Big Al is questionable for this game. And Melton is, he's been out for a while. Just don't read the injury list. Don't read the old injuries. All right, I'm taking the Thunder in this one, but you're welcome in the chat to comment as well. And here we go. But first, here's some steam coming in. Radford in North Carolina. We already mentioned the move there on Radford. Remember, they were taking the steam against North Carolina. Now here comes steam to the over, man. This one's going through the roof. This one opened 155 between Radford and North Carolina. It was already kind of on the move over, but then boom, here come the Sharps, and all of a sudden this one's up to 159.5. That's up at least 4.5 points from the opener here with Radford and North Carolina. Also, Winthrop and Coastal. Steam to the over here with Winthrop and Coastal. This one drifted down to 161.5, and that's where it got hit right here. Up to 164.5. That's a big move. 3-point move to the over here. Winthrop and Coastal. Steam to the over. Fernando's got Brunson to go over here. And LaSalle for Greg here. Mr. Weskers likes the Celtics. And Terrell says he used to love to drive the Silver Strand, I think, especially with the bridge. Terrell, it's free, baby. It's all over. We paid for that bridge. We just cruise on into Coronado now. They haven't even taken down at least last I saw, they're taking down the toll booths. Maybe they have. 76ers over here for Justin. Joel Embiid's on the over here. Greg says he's got a 2-point game there. Maxi for his PRA, probably over, I'm thinking, from Jermaine. And let's see, Mr. Weskers was on the Celtics early. Greg says Philly's coming off the loss to Toronto. Philly's easy money. Maryland's overrated. They lost to Georgia Tech, says Jerry. And there's Action Jackson in the chat. Also, Robert says Celtics money line. Mr. Weskers loves himself some Curry. And Greg says 8-point game for the Thunder. Here comes some steam right now. It's on Fordham. Fordham is taking the steam here against Wagner. Fordham was a 9.5-point favorite, but here comes some big steam right now, and we're seeing Fordham on the move here. Fordham is up to a 13-point favorite. That's at least a 3.5-point move from the opener, probably a 2-point move on the steam. Fordham was already taking the action. Fordham taking the steam here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, and let's see, Warriors here for Justin. Hey, we got a move in the football game tonight coming in right now, everybody, and it's on Akron. Akron's taking the steam here on the football game. That's good to know. Akron was, we know, a little short of a touchdown here, 5.5, but they've crossed a key number here and going up here to 6.5 at some books. Steam here on Akron right now on the football game here tonight. And then right behind it, some steam on Harvard. Harvard is taking the steam here in their matchup with Northeastern. Harvard was a 4.5-point favorite here, and they're taking the action right now in their matchup against Northeastern. Harvard's up to a 6-point favorite here at Circa. 1.5 move on Harvard right now. All right, Tariq likes the over there. Fernando's going with the Warriors in that game. Let me make sure I'm back on the beam here with the there it is, over. Our Tom's on the over as well. It's been so long, I don't even remember what I'm on. But I know I'm on Oklahoma City to get it done here. I'm taking OKC against Golden State here. Robert's on the under. Robert's on the under. Grizzlies here for 9 legacy in that game. And Jermaine liked Temple there. And Terrell back with Derek White over 20 points. Woo, we're cruising along here with the Pacers and the Jazz in this one. You got the Pacers on the road. Slight road favorite here against Utah. They're favored by 2.5. Total 232, maybe even 232.5 here in this one with the Pacers on the road. Both teams fighting losing streaks right now. Pacers come in 1-9. They've dropped 4 in a row. Can you believe what's happened to this Pacer club? They are getting, I believe, Matterin back here tonight. That'll help. They need to get some healthy bodies in there for sure. Jazz come in here a 3-game losing streak. They're 3-7 overall right now. But the Jazz are 4-0 against the spread at home. Meanwhile, this will be just the second time this season the Pacers have been favored. They failed in the first time they were. But Siakam probable here. McConnell questionable. Not Matterin. Nesmith. I always get those two players. Shouldn't get them confused. One's taller than the other. But Nesmith is a probable to come back tonight. Matterin's definitely out with that foot injury. This is where all the problems lie. Toppin out, Furphy out, Jackson out. Just missing a lot of depth. Not to mention their superstar, but he's out for a long time. So for Utah here, Anderson is questionable. Hendricks is questionable too. A little bit of a little thin in the front court. But like I said, Utah 4-0, ATS at home, and Pacers on the road here. Look, Pacers are definitely having some issues here, some problems. Whether or not they can get it together here tonight, having lost 10 of their last 11. Utah's lost 6 of 7. But I'm going to go ahead and take Utah here in this one. Taking the few points, though, at home. I'll take Utah. They definitely were struggling out there on the road, but bring them back home here against this struggling Indiana team. I'm going to grab a couple of points at home with the Jazz. I'll go to the previews. That game didn't take long. because there was no steam until right now. UL Lafayette is taking the steam here right now in their matchup with Tulane. They were getting 7 points, but no longer. This one's on the move here as UL Lafayette is taking the steam, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific in that game against Tulane. UL Lafayette is now getting just 5.5. Point and a half move on this home dog, UL Lafayette. All right, let's see if I can get the plays in there from the chat. In this one here, let's see. Greg says Miami and Detroit blew out Memphis. Here's Justin on the Jazz. Greg likes the Pacers here. Looks like to even cover the spread in this one and maybe even go over. Keontae George still getting it done, says Terrell. Roberts on the over in this one. And Greg says Utah's going to be tired after playing Minnesota here at home last night. And, hey, we got that. We had it, yes. We had the Jazz there yesterday in that game against Minnesota. Yeah, they lost it, but they covered it by a half point or more. Pretty sure you could say Utah got that money. All right, Indiana will win. They own Utah. Yeah, but always a caution on these a little bit that they only play twice a year. And like I said, actually, Utah's covered 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. Here's Jazz for Tariq. And one more game in the NBA here on Tuesday night. Here, let's see if I can get up a show maybe here tonight with all this college basketball. This is what I was waiting for, but I don't know if I've cleared it with Mike yet. So we might have another week here trying to get on the Tuesday nights here if we can, and maybe some other night. We should have been on there last night for that thriller between the Eagles and the Packers, but without Razor, what's it going to be? An Eagles-Packers game without Razor. All right, Nuggets and Kings here wrap us up on Tuesday night. You got the Kings here coming in just 3-7. The Nuggets are, are they a quiet 7-2? They've won 4 in a row here right now, and they've done a good job covering here as a favorite in typical Denver fashion. 6-2 against the spread as a favorite, but 1-2 against the spread on the road. Meanwhile, though, Sacramento's 1-4 against the spread at home. Does make it a little bit choppy waters here a little bit for a Denver team. Yeah, they're 1-2 straight up on the road as well. Sacramento's won 2 of their 5 home games so far, but Denver is 4-2 against the spread. Their last 6 against the Kings. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. These two teams are a combined 12-7 to the over so far this season. Sacramento's gone over in 5 of their last 6. The Steam came in on the over as well. The total there, you see it on screen, says 243.5, and it might actually be a notch lower. Maybe it's 243 flat. But see what you guys have here in this one between the Nuggets and the Kings. And I'll go to the chat and see what how you guys have it here. With Teresa, we like the Jazz. Oh boy. We'll see. I was going to do you know what? The White House, tearing down the White House. I do think a White House should have a ballroom, though. I mean, that one I can get behind. I don't know about everything else, but gotta have a ballroom. All right, Nuggets here over. Tariq says Nuggets, Kings, and Clippers are bums. Nuggets here for Blues here, everybody. The Jazz, yes. Mr. Weskers wants a little Kings money line somewhere. Hey, there's some steam. Guess what? Some steam coming in. That's what makes college basketball so exciting when we're on this show. Here comes Creighton getting that steam against Gonzaga, everybody. You're going to do it? Gonzaga snuck up there to about a 12.5-point favorite, and here comes the money now. That was good enough for the Sharps. They've started to take them here. Connecticut, this one is across the board. The board is lit up. This is a coordinated move. If you watch an odd screen here, I'm not making this up. You can look at it. Gonzaga red all across the bottom here right now in this matchup with Creighton here tonight, Creighton and Gonzaga here. Good games certainly right now. Two great programs, and right now the steam has come in on Creighton, and they're down to an 11.5 point favorite here. Again, that's not it opened around 11 or 11.5 really, and Gonzaga was taking the small action here, the overnight action, and now with the little limits a little bit higher, maybe they've started to take Creighton here clearly right now in this one, and that board is lit up here with Creighton. All right, Westbrook for a double at 6-1. Bobby Mack was on. Whoops, I lost. Bobby Mack was on Denver there. Here's a little more steam, though, for us. The NBA segment's just about over. I got to make a play, but Long Island is getting some steam here in that first game. This one's at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Another early start here with Long Island. They were a 1.5 point favorite, but man, we're already bet up to about 2.5 or 3, and now here comes even more action on Long Island today. They're up to a 5 point favorite on the road against Air Force. LIU, everybody, take a bow. LIU, their Air Force hasn't looked too good for sure, but man, 5 now. It opened 1.5, and it's now up to 5 here in that matchup. Wow. Okay, and let me look through here the NBA, and we're done with the NBA. Robert's on the over. Greg says he's got an 8-point game here with Denver to take care of business there. Right on the number there, actually. And Blue says the Kings might be terrible. R. Thompson's on Denver. And good morning to M the Great today. Nice to have M the Great here in chat. Blue took Creighton. Greg says the Kings played Denver a week ago, and Denver won by 11. Our poll is closing here on the Golden State OKC game, so get that in, and Mike will give us the results. And this portion of the show is over, except for my pick, of course, now in the game between Denver and Sacramento. I think I'm going to move to that. I think I'm going to go to the total in this one. Let me run it through the old steam machine over here and see exactly how we're going to cover this one, because I do like the under here. And yeah, I'm going to take the under here. I know that steam came in on the over, but I'm going to take the under actually with Denver and Sacramento. All right. All right, thanks everybody. Great segment there with the basketball, and let's go to one more steam move in basketball with Central Connecticut against Boston College. Central Connecticut was getting 21 points, and the action was coming in pretty much on Central Connecticut, and now even more action's coming in on. They were already bet down to like 19.5, maybe even 19, but now here comes more steam right now on Central Connecticut against Boston College, and it's all the way down here to 17.5. It was a 21 on the opener, but now we're looking here at 17.5. Not many opened it as high as 21, but it definitely was. All right, we're going to step here right now, and we're going to have a little bit of, you might have heard the ding. You might have heard the old ding in there right now, but we're going to have some breaking news. All right, breaking news coming in right now from the Dallas Mavericks. They're going to be firing GM Nico Harrison. He's already run the franchise into the ground here. It seems like he spent 4 seasons with Dallas and did a great job on that Luka trade, didn't he? Brought in AD. This team is a total disaster here right now. So it all backfired. You want to look like a genius, and now you're out the door. Nico, the Mavericks have called a press conference here later today as they parted ways with Nico Harrison here, as they'll have a press conference in a short order here. Actually, it's a little bit later, but goodbye, Nico. Way to screw up the franchise. Look, say what you want about Mark Cuban. He had always relied on his superstar a little bit. Am I right? Didn't he say he would have never traded Luka, right? Doesn't mean he wouldn't have. He's said he understands the value of a player, but Nico Harrison is to be fired here by Dallas for basically screwing the franchise into the ground with bad personnel moves. Doesn't know a superstar when he has one, wants to go for a guy who basically plays about 50% of the games because he's injury prone. All right, some steam came in on Kansas while we were talking about that. Kansas here taking the move in their matchup. This one's kind of a big spread too. Kansas against Corpus Christi. Kansas opened about 25. That sounds like a bad line there to begin with. Kansas is taking the move here in this one, and Kansas is up to 27 here right now, at least a 2-point move off the opener, 1-point move there. But man, Kansas really. I know also, right? Hey, another big one right behind it. OU against Pine Bluff. Oh, you guys are already talking about. Did you guys say take Pine Bluff? Oh, I hope you didn't take it too soon. Here comes OU taking the steam. They opened, 33? They're up to 35.5 right now. OU taking that steam against Pine Bluff here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, you guys probably reacting to Nico there for sure. And at least Dallas is off today. But after that game last night with the Bucks, why not? We had the what did we have? We had the under in that game, but all right. Let's see here. Boston College ain't that good. Also, Nico is a patsy, says Mr. Weskers. He had right. You cannot let ego stand in the way, right? Mr. Weskers, you're the general manager. You got to make it work. You quit. If you don't like it, quit, right? You're not the man. You don't make as much as that as your player. So, and Greg said, don't forget about when the Titans coach got fired. All right. I'm moving on right now to some Mac Sean. I want to live, Mac Sean. Kent State and Akron. We already said that steam came in a little bit there, right on Akron. It's up to 6.5 right now. We got a little action here tonight. 6.5. The total is looks like it's going down here a little bit, maybe 46.5 right now. We're seeing a little bit of move to the under in this one with Kent and Akron here. Note the start time in this one is at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. The other game, though, has been pushed back 1/2 hour. Ohio and Western Michigan. You might have them backwards on your rotation. I haven't missed the game, but the Ohio Western Michigan game actually has been pushed back 1/2 hour. So you'll have those games backwards on your rotation if you're like me, old school, using the rotation here. But talk about this one with Kent State and Akron coming in here. You got Kent here. Look, they're just awful, right? They basically have won 3 of their last 20 games over the last 2+ seasons. They've also gone just 7-13 against the spread in their last 20 football games. But they have covered 6 of the last 9 between the two. Some, you could say 7 out of the last 9. There was a kind of a push in there. 10 of the last 15 games between these two teams have gone under, and 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams here in Akron have gone under as well. Kent's gone under in 4 of their last 5. Akron's been an over team so far, I believe so far this season right now. Let's see if I got the numbers there officially. But I know that Akron's been a little bit of an over here for sure thus far. Although they do come in, also it should be noted that Akron is coming in here 2-1 against the spread as a favorite, 3-2 against the spread at home, and yeah, Kent 1-4 against the spread as an underdog. But Akron is 3-0 to the over as a favorite. This one does seem a little bit of grindy here with these two teams, though, figuring they usually are an under when they play each other. So I'm going to rely on that actually in this game and say this one does stay under. We've seen the move to the under here, so I've got the under here in this one between Kent and Akron. All right, and you can comment on the action if you want. I don't know if we're going to get much from you guys. And who is the owner, right? Blue, they sold it to a family here who basically is a Vegas family, and they're going to build casinos once things get rolling down there in Texas. But that was the thing. I mean, Mark Cuban, remember, he ended up selling the team. Look, Cuban liked being involved, right? He wanted to actually be a steward, stewardship of the team still, but they weren't going to have it here. So he had to basically divest himself of the commitment. So it's it is the Adelson family that owns the team, Patrick Dumont and Mrs. Adelson. So they're the ones that own the team. They were the ones that, it weren't going to work out, I guess, with Cuban. Okay, here we go. Here's Truth Teller. Thank you, Truth. He's been waiting for the action. Let's feature him. It's so nice to have him here. In this game, he likes Kent State plus the points. Probably not going to do it, but he does like Kent State. Thank you, Truth. All right, Akron here for Nuke. He said he got that good number under 6, right? And Greg has it, Akron 27-20. I'm going to take the under here in this one. I might have a premium in the over. Watch out.
Critical notice.
I mean, in the total. I mean, in the side. Yeah, not. I'm on the under. I don't premium in the over. I wouldn't do that. Okay, and next up is the better game of the two here for sure. I mean, this is what can you say right now about this one here with Ohio taking on Western Michigan right now. You look at the MAC standings overall here. It's been a pretty good run for both these teams right now. Ohio comes in here 6-3 overall on a 3-game winning streak. They're 4-1 in conference play. And for Western here, they're 4-1 in conference play as well, 5-4 overall. It's a 4-way tie atop the MAC right now with Ohio, Buffalo, Miami, and Western Michigan. So this is a huge game here tonight at Western Michigan. Western Michigan and Ohio have gone over in 6 of their last 9 games. Western Michigan has covered 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two overall. You've got a Western Michigan team here. Like I said, let me look at that line here. Do I have the correct line on the screen, though, you guys? I pick them? Because I think right now. Yeah, I mean, the sharp books are 1. Maybe the square book. I mean, DraftKings is 1.5 at even here right now. So spread-wise, though, Western Michigan's been terrific. They're 4-1 against the spread at home so far. Ohio just 2-2 against the spread on the road. So I got to think I've got another under here in this one with Ohio and Western Michigan at 47. I'm taking the under here in this one. And you guys can comment here as well. Ohio's 11-4-1 in their last 16 games against the spread here overall. And man, they're, like I said, they're getting these getting here in at a pick'em right now. Let me see what you guys have here. Great match here with Alcaraz and Fritz. Alcaraz isn't going to cover the game spread. I thought he would, but we're in the 3rd set right now, and these two are split the first 2 sets and really going at it here right now. Alcaraz has kind of owned Fritzy a little bit here, but right now it's still on serve here. Okay, let's see. We go. Greg says when the numbers go up, take the favorite. When it goes down, take the underdog. That's real simple. Damn it. I've been sitting here doing this god dang show, and that I could just be doing, I wouldn't even need a show. All right, here's the poll results. 52% were on OKC. Oh, it was a spread. So, yeah, look at that. Wow. This is a toss-up all the way here against the spread, right, Mikey? They just leaned to OKC, but a lot of Warriors support, too. In there. Truth might be on the under in this one. And Western Michigan for Nuke here. Justin likes the under here with me. And let's see what else. Is that it? Blue likes chorizo. Who doesn't? Greg has it 26-20 in favor of the Bobcats here. Wow, that's that's a pretty solid move right there. All right, I guess that's it for the Max. We don't have to spend too much time, but definitely have some football tonight. All right, I want to go to the ice next, if that's okay. I was going to save college basketball because I got a lot of games. And we do have a lot of games in hockey as well, but let's get to it. We've got a 9-game card tonight. We got to talk about it. And keep it rolling here too, right? We fire up the goalie computer here, make sure we're ready to go on our goalies here. Got the goalies in there this time, so... man, get to college basketball season, I almost forget to put the goalies in. And we'll see if there have been any changes. Let me know if I have the wrong goalie up there, please. Let's make sure we get it right. I'm just sitting here like you guys trying to make sure we get it right. Started off with the Maple Leafs on the road here, taking on the Bruins. Man, Bruins are hot, and they're an underdog here against Toronto right now. Bruins with a 6-game winning streak here currently? Man, they're on fire. What's going on? Toronto, they've had their share of struggles here on the road for sure. They haven't looked that great on the road so far. Toronto coming in here, 1-3 on the road. Is that it? Just 1-3? Toronto's played they played 12 home games so far. No wonder they played 12 home games and they're barely over 500. Boston here has played, they played most of them at home, I guess. But man, are you kidding me? I'm taking Boston here without even going into a preview. Look, I'll give you credit. Maple Leafs have been, they've been overrated, haven't they? They've been favored in all but 2 games, I think, so far here this season. But they burned through 2 3/4 units here so far. Boston's actually been one of the most profitable teams in the league so far, especially at home. They're up 5.5 units so far at home this season. So I'm taking them. I'm going with Boston here. I get it. Maybe this is a good matchup here for Toronto here right now, but I don't think I want any part of it. Toronto comes in here having lost 7 of its last 10 at Boston. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. By the way, Toronto has gone over in 10 straight games, 10 in a row to the over right now, including all 4 on the road. So I'm going to take Boston here in this one. And we see the chat coming in here with our hockey. Hope it's okay. Went to hockey. Greg likes the Bruins here in the high-scoring game. Maple Leafs over for Justin. I mean, come on, 10 in a row. Justin's probably been on them every time. Leafs here, though, for Robert. Look, they should be the better team, right? I mean, they are favored after all, but maybe Boston hasn't been a weak schedule, do you think, with some of these teams? They beat Ottawa, they beat the Islanders, they beat Buffalo, but we know they just beat Toronto at Toronto 5-3, but it's the revenge factor here. And nothing else, though, from you guys on that one. That game, by the way, was 3 days ago, I think. 5-3 it was. Boston winning at Toronto, so you do have the revenge factor. Stars and Senators here in this one. You got the Stars on the road, 9-4-3. Ottawa's been good, right? They've won 2 in a row here. Stars have won 2 in a row here as well coming in. But look, Ottawa's done a nice job here, 6-1-3 in their last 10 overall, right? And Dallas comes in here 4-1 on the road. There's definitely some good things there. This is only the 4th time Dallas here. They're now an underdog, right? Yeah, Dallas is an underdog. I think they started as a favorite. Yeah, this one's definitely been a shifteroo here. Let me make sure. Let me look at the goalie computer. What are we missing here? Nope, still Ottinger and Olmark here in this one. Ottinger, a 3.0 goals against, 6-3-2 record. Olmark, 3.24 goals against, 6-4-3 record coming in. These teams are pretty much in a serious over streak, that's for sure. Both teams have been going over quite a bit here of late. For Dallas here, they've gone over in 4 of 5. Ottawa's gone over in 6 of 8. Dallas also 4-1 to the over on the road. Dallas has lost 8 straight times here in Ottawa. They only play twice a year, so that's basically 8 years in a row that Stars come in. You could say teams have changed, but some things don't change when it comes to season series, even when it's a Eastern Conference, Western Conference. Dallas has lost 11 of the last 16 over those 8 years to Ottawa, so they've even lost some of them at home. I will say this. Right now, I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I said Dallas is 4-3 to the over on the road. I think I said 4-1, but see what you guys have here in this one with Washington. Hope I didn't screw anybody up with that, but both teams definitely going over here of late. Ottawa's 11-5 to the over overall, and now they're a favorite, and they're 7-4 to the over as a favorite. So, look, the line's I got a 5.5 over 30 there, but I'll change it to 6 under 20 and take the over. I'll take the worst of it and call it 6. And I'll go over here, but 5.5 over 30. I usually will do that, you guys, in hockey, because guess what? In hockey, the final score is usually 5, 6, or 7 goals every single time. Yeah, I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. So give me the over here in this one. I'll take it over 6 on the show here with Dallas and the Senators. All right, couple plays from you guys. Here's Blue on the Senators. 9 Legacy said Boston on the money line. Ottawa here for Robert. Robert's on the under in this one. And Greg says 3-2. Action Jackson on the Stars here. And Alcaraz about to break Fritz. This is going to be the deciding part of the match here, it looks like right now. Alcaraz 2 for 6 on break points. Senators win. It probably goes under. Right, looks like he saved 1 break point there. Carolina Hurricane. Sounds like we got to get the FBI out there. All right, I'm taking the over in that one. Next up, Washington on the road, taking on the Hurricanes. Hurricanes 11-4 right now. Man, they're on a 4-game winning streak again. Carolina, you guys have them? You guys have punched in a futures play on these guys yet? Washington's definitely struggling here right now from what we're kind of used to. Washington just 3-6-1 their last 10, 1-4 as an underdog so far this season. Carolina's been a terrific favorite, going 10-2. Alcaraz got that break, and he's up 4-2 here in the third set. Carolina 5-1 at home so far this season. Washington is 4-1 as a puck line underdog here in this one. Carolina has been a solid over, 6-0 to the over at home so far this season with Washington and Carolina. Washington does trend a little bit to the under, but it's hard to ignore that. Carolina's gone over in 5 of their last 7 here, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Washington has lost 5 straight times here in Carolina, and they're just 1-4 in their last, as I said, on the road here so far. I can't read my right. 1-4-1 it looks like, but nonetheless, they're 1-4 as an underdog is Washington. So give me the over here. I'll take the over in this one as well between Washington and Carolina. It is slightly juiced to the over here now at 6 over 15, and I'm going to take the over here on the Morning Steam Show. And we've got Carolina has been overrated lately. I don't know, Greg. They've won 4 games in a row right now here. they've only been an underdog 3 times this season. So they're 11-4. Maybe you're suggesting it's been an easy schedule. They beat Buffalo here. They're coming off a win over Toronto. All right. Here's Robert says over in this one. Justin's got the Hurricanes in regulation. Greg says 4-2 in favor of the Canes, and our Tufts is on the over. Next up, my Kings are at my Canadians. This is the Ramon Scott all-time matchup of his two old-school favorite teams, LA and Montreal. Montreal's a favorite here in this one, $1.15, 6 under 20 right now with Montreal 10, 3, and 2. Man, as an old Montreal fan, boy, we've seen flashes over the last 30 years, but it seems like a long way from winning those Stanley Cups. But remember, the Kings played the Canadians for the Stanley Cup once. And the Canadians here, 10, 3, and 2. 6, 2, and 2 in the last 10, 5, and 1 at home. But the Kings are 6 and 1 on the road, despite a 7, 5, and 4 record. The Kings have been money on the road so far this season, right? Kings are plus 2.5 units on the road. They've been a disaster at home, I'll give you that. But 6, 1, and 2 on the road so far for the Kings. Montreal, meanwhile, coming in here with their home mark of 5, 1, and 1. So Montreal also pretty good favorite here so far. They're just 2 and 7, however, on the puck line. Kings are 5 and 2 as a puck line underdog coming into this one. Kings have gone 8-0 in their last 8 games against Montreal. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Montreal has actually gone over here in, I think, 7 straight right now, and for their last 5 games at home here. But this goalie matchup, look, you got for the Kings here, Kemper, 2.52 goals against, and Dobbs has been one of the stories of the league here so far with a 6-0-1 record, 2.25 goals against, 92% save percentage. Man, Canadians are going over here a lot right now, but 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams here in Montreal have gone under. I'm going to take the under in this one. You can grade me at 5.5. There's clearly 6 under 20s everywhere, so I'm going to go under here with the Kings and the Canadians tonight. All right, here we go. And here's Bo. He says the Mavs have fired Nico the Clown. Thanks, Bo. Thank you, Bo. And Canadians 3-2 here. And Bo said, look what we were talking about, right? The Adelson family waiting to get that, get those hotels with casinos in them. Robert here on the under. And 9 Legacies on Montreal here. And Robert's on the Kings. And both Roberts are on the Kings. I'm taking the under in this one. The steam sure has calmed down, huh, gang? All right, here comes Calgary and St. Louis. Calgary coming in 4-11-2. That mini win streak was quickly erased with a couple of losses. St. Louis has just been up and down. Win-loss here of late. Calgary 4-11-2 overall. St. Louis 5-8-3. It hasn't been great for either of these teams right now. St. Louis a favorite here. They're 1-8 straight up as a favorite. Are the St. Louis Blues. Now, at least Calgary is 3-12 as a dog here. St. Louis 1-8 is a puck line favorite, obviously, as well, with that 1-8 straight up record. What a S show, I guess that would be. Could you imagine the St. Louis Blues right now costing you all this money if you're backing them here as a favorite? Right now, St. Louis at home down 5 units already here this season. Man, that's terrible. But Calgary hasn't been much better, although they have covered a few puck lines here of late, and they're 3-5-2 in their last 10 overall. They've they perked up a little bit here with that. They won a couple of games there back last week. They beat Philadelphia on the road. They beat Columbus at home, outscored those two opponents 7-2, but it's been a disaster for them too. Calgary with Wolf here coming in this one for Wolf. He comes in with a 4-9-1 record, 0.89 goals against, and Bennington 3-5-2 with a 3.33 goals against, 85.9% save percentage here in this one. So, oh man, this is the ugly game of the night here, isn't it? With these two teams, Calgary's dropped 7 in a row against St. Louis. What are you going to do? They're 1-6 in their last 7 here. But maybe St. Louis maybe can find somebody they can beat. 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Blues have actually gone over in 14 of 20, dating back to last season. Can't take Calgary on the puck line. I know that. I'm not laying $2 with this team, but man, I don't think St. Louis can win by 1. I know that. I know that's for sure. But Calgary is minus $2 there. I'm just going to take Calgary on the money line. And 0-7 here. I don't know. I'm going to take Calgary, guys, and just cross my fingers. You know, I play pretty much every. You'd be lucky if I can get just a couple of bucks on this game, guys. Come on, even I can't go crazy here. Okay, here we go. I think Robert might be. That might be the last game here. He's on the under here. Justin says he wants me to say S show. Robert's on the Blues though. They got to win 1, right? $1.45. That's the only thing, Robert, that I decided was I'm going to take this plus price. Here. Maybe it'll be overtime or under here for Apache Storm. Nice to see Apache Storm in the chat. Flames money line for 9 legacy. And thank you, Mike, everybody. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Wolf will fire you up. Let's get off this game. Let's go to a good team like the Sharks. Man, Sharks, baby. 2 surging squads meet here with the Sharks. Have won 3 in a row. Minnesota's been hot too. They've been winning games. They did lose to Carolina, but came back with a couple of wins over the Islanders and the Flames. That's not easy. That's not hard, but the story is the Sharks here for sure. 7-2-1 in their last 10. They're 3-3. On the road here so far, this 3-game winning streak. Sharks are up 3 3/4 units so far this season. Hey, Minnesota, they're hot too. They're not a winning proposition so far this season, but they're starting to heat up. They need to heat up here right now. Just a 4-3-2 record for them so far at home. Sharks are over team for sure on the road. 6-1 to the over so far this season. Minnesota's 6-3 to the over at home. Could we see some goals tonight between these two surging teams right now? 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Minnesota's 10-7 to the over overall, and at home they've gone over in 12 of their last 18, dating back to last season. San Jose's gone over in 5 of their last 6 on the road, although they have gone under in 4 of their last 5. Minnesota has won 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams, but I don't know if that's going to affect my thought process, but I'm actually going to go to the total here in this one with San Jose and Minnesota. I got to go over here with these two right now. I know it's 6.5 here. It is probably 6.5 flat on the average. I'm going over here in this one. All right, and let's see what we got here with you guys. Blue, I think he's talking about me here, Clown World. Just kidding, Blue. The Blues are the Blues. Something's wrong with the Blues. Oh, did I put the wrong game up there, you guys? I'm sorry. Let me make sure I got the right graphic here. Is that right? Right there? No. I'm on the Sharks. Oh, there we go. Right, Sharks and Wild. Sorry about that if I messed that up. Okay, you guys, here we go. Let me continue. Robert on the over. Action Jackson on the Sharks. 9 Legacy. Sharks money line and Senators money line. And want to say hello to Copter here. Minute of silence here right now. I think we take a moment of silence on Memorial Day. I don't take a moment of silence on Veterans Day. I do thank everyone for their service here. Alcaraz wins the match here over Fritz. And let's see here, 13-19 to 15. Oh, well, we got it there with Alcaraz. If I know it said 4, and there was some 3.5s out there. Look, when I send those out, the AI kind of does another line. Those lines are the same in a way. You just pay more juice, but it feels like at least a push there, maybe a win for some. Thank you, and a good match there. Alcaraz got that win over Fritzy there, put him away there in the third set. Okay, Robert says Sharks plus 1.5. Man, having these Sharks, it's good to see them having some excitement here a little bit, doesn't it? Get the Sharks back. Remember, Sharks had some years back in the day, I guess. All right, and I think that's it for that one. I'm going to take the over. All right. Oh, we got the game of the night. Who'd have thunk it? The Ducks and the Avalanche here? Wait a minute, 240? That's not the game of the night. That's a blowout. I guess the Ducks have been a fake here so far. Nobody believes in the Ducks and their 11-3-1 record. Now, they are going up against Colorado, who has just one regulation loss so far this season. They're 10-1-5. Not to make too much light of it. The Ducks are playing great. Come on. They can stay in this game at least. You got the puck line you could look at too here. They can hang in here. Anaheim on the puck line plus 1.5 minus $1.25, but a total here 6.5 over for sure. Even maybe minus 130 right now between these two. Wow, the red hot Sharks coming in here 9-1 their last 10. Colorado's just 5-1-4 in their last 10, but they're getting the job done at home here for sure. Colorado at home right now is 4-0-2 coming in. Anaheim on the road 6-2-1. When you have 6 wins on the road, basically tied for the other than the Rangers, of course. But 6 wins, second in the league in wins on the road right now. So that's great numbers here for the Ducks. Do you really think they're just a flash in the pan here? Anaheim is 1-7 their last 8 games against Colorado. In fact, they're also 1-7 their last 8 games in Colorado. But Colorado's been pretty awesome here for sure. Anaheim's gone over in 7 of their last 10 and over in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. But Colorado, Anaheim, right? Did I say it right? Anaheim over in 5 of their last 6 on the road, over in 7 of their last 10. But Colorado's been kind of an under team for sure. 7-9 to the under so far, 3-3 to the under at home. I don't know if there's really any series trends that kind of indicate that this would be such a high-scoring game here with 2 good teams like this. I'm actually taking the under in this game between Anaheim and Colorado. Sure, we've seen the Ducks. I mean, this is unprecedented here right now, but Dostal's given them solid goaltending, it feels like to me, with a 2.66 goals against, and Wedgwood has a 2.36 goals against as part of that 9-1-2 record. So both guys a 90.5% save percentage here. I don't think they're super over teams. Anaheim is only 6-5 to the over as an underdog. So I'm going to go under in this one at 6.5, a little bit of plus money. I got decent teams here. I hope this is for real for Anaheim. I know I like a lot of teams, and it might be kind of not cool to like both LA teams, but I do. I don't care. The Anaheim is the minor league team is in San Diego. Their call-up team there. Okay, so give me the under here in this one. But let's see what you have. This is a game of the night, believe it or not. Right? All right. And Tariq says he took Alcatraz. I said it, Alcaraz. He probably got corrected their voice correction, but Alcaraz and my man Fritzy. Look, I'm a Fritz fan. I've told the story before that as a wannabe sports writer that worked at the San Diego Union. I was a stringer for many years covering events, and Fritzy played 1 year of high school tennis, just one because he was awesome. Won the championship as a freshman and covered that final that he won and interviewed him. And I knew he was destined for greatness. I promise you that. Anaheim plus money. He's from Rancho Santa Fe Del Mar area in San Diego. We was already kind of well-to-do. Robert there on the over there. Avs puck line. Avalanche. These Sharks got to come back down to earth, and they are on the road. But you know what? Somewhat familiar opponents. Ducks don't have a chance. Colorado rocks them 5-3 in a high-scoring game. Statement game for Colorado. Colorado. Hey, look, here's the one thing we talked about, when to judge, right? When teams are kind of which ones are going to overtime, which ones you want to do those overtime bets on a little bit, right? Colorado, you got to look. I mean, 10-1-5. Yes, they're awesome with only one regulation loss, but also look at how many games have gone to overtime for them, and you're going up against a team that's playing pretty well. Okay, we're not putting Anaheim in the Stanley Cup Finals, but this team with this kind of start, it's going to be hard for them to maybe miss the playoffs unless they totally go, into the tank, which is always possible. We don't know. And Blue says, Avalanche. Whisper says, I don't sleep. You know when I slept? In the first half of that San Diego State football game the other night on Saturday night against Hawaii. When I stayed up after we did the show, stayed up, got ready for that, got some food, watched the first few minutes. It was 14. I'm like, fuck. San Diego State is not going to win this game. I'm going to take a nap. Tariq's on the Ducks. Robert's on the Ducks. All right, that's going to do it for that one. Let's move on. That's a good game. Here's the Jets taking on the Canucks. We're almost done with the hockey, guys. Get ready for college basketball. We got a lot of games to cover. We're going to do it quickly. Jets here taking on Vancouver with Connor Hellebuck. And I've got Lankinen in there. I know some of the sites are showing Demko, but I've got Lankinen in there right now. Let me refresh. I use 3 sites, and whichever one has, if any of them have 2, because they're both, all 3 are pretty accurate. They all can't be accurate, right? When they got them backwards, or when they disagree. So whenever they disagree, I just figure the one that has a 2 goal, 2 on 1 goalie. That's what I think. And I think here in this one, I'm going to go with Lankinen right now in goal. That's what someone told me on it from a chat from the other show too. So look, Winnipeg here, they've lost 3 in a row, but they are favored here at Vancouver. And obviously they're the better team overall, right? 9-6. They've been playing the better. They've been the better team over the last year or two. So they are 4-3 on the road, but 9-4 as a favorite. They've totally gotten it done. That's good enough for 7-6 on the puck line as a favorite. That's not bad when you're considering just about every team is going to be subpar as a puck line favorite. Actually, for Winnipeg here right now, they come in here 4-3 on the road here overall, and for Bank right now they are 3-4-1 at home so far. So Vancouver's been a total over team at home, 7-1 to the over, 12-5 to the over overall. In this series between the two teams, Winnipeg's won 10 of the last 14 trips here into Vancouver. They've kind of had their number a little bit. Also, they've won 7 of the last 9. So it is a pretty good matchup here for Winnipeg. I just don't know if I trust them necessarily as a favorite here. Coming in on this 3-game losing streak here right now. Losses to LA, San Jose, and Anaheim, all on the road. At least they've maybe found someone they can beat, but they lost in the California sweep there, if you will. And Vancouver, they're not awful here, but I'm going to go ahead and try Winnipeg here. Might not be the best suggestion possible, but I'm going to try them here. At least they're up against a team that they have success against. That's what it feels like. They have had the success against them. So I'm going to go ahead and take Winnipeg on the road. Let's see if anybody has Bank in the chat. All right. Right, Mr. I said, we're going to beat Hawaii. We're going to beat all these teams. And they look terrible in that game. They missed their chance. They're not going to the college football playoff. I was thinking they could pull off a miracle and go to the college football playoff. They look terrible in that game. Okay, Jets money line here. Winnipeg Jets for 9 legacy. Goodbye to Blue. Thank you. Great to have you. Robert went with the under. And Winnipeg, maybe they go back north and where they'll feel a little more comfortable. One more on the ice. Here's the Blue Jackets and the Kraken tonight. And hey, the Kraken, how about it? 7-4-4. They're the team with the better record in this one. Taking on Columbus here. Columbus is lost. They lost last night too, right? That's 4 in a row. Did it go? Was it overtime last night against Edmonton? 5-4 overtime shootout, was it? Oh man, I forget now. I fell asleep. I think on that one. But still, right now, Columbus definitely in a little bit of a slide here with 4 straight losses. Seattle's been alternating wins and losses here, but they are pretty good at home so far. Seattle is 4-1-2 at home so far this season, and Columbus on the road. They're a 50-50 proposition really so far at 4-4. Columbus is 4-7-1 as an underdog so far this season. Seattle's a favorite for just the 3rd time so far this year. Seattle is 2-5 to the under at home. Columbus is 6-3 to the over on the road. How will this one go tonight with Seattle and Columbus? If it's 6.5, is it 6.5? Yeah, there's plenty of 6.5s. I'm going under at 6.5. I do see 6 over 25 at the sharp books in there, but I think I'm going to try the under in this one. Winnipeg's gone under in 4 of their last 5 on the road, so yeah, they've trended to the over here of late. I've got them 3-5 to the 3-5. Sorry about that. 3-5 to the under, but Seattle here, like I said, 2-5 to the under at home right now. Let me see here if I don't want to read the wrong trend. That's bad. Okay. Columbus has lost 5 of their last 6 games against Seattle overall. Here it is. Seattle's gone under in 5 of their last 7 at home. That's official. We already said that. Columbus is 4-2 to the over on the road in their last 6. Okay. All right, that's fine. Here, I'm going with the under with Columbus and Seattle here tonight. I'm glad that segment's over. Blew that last one there. All right, let's see here. Jets for Tariq. Winnipeg for Justin. Greg might be on the Kraken. I'm getting a little warm. Kraken here for Robert. 9 legacy on the Blue Jackets. Robert with me on the under. Okay. Right, Greg, it's not me just telling you. I mean, I read these trends, so you guys don't have to, okay? Some of you do the work, do it like I do, but look, I like to know these things. I like to look at the market. I like to look at the trends, and then I analyze what I'm seeing on the, with the eye test, if you will. Like I said, 10 to 15% of the games on here, I don't have a pick when I get to the segment. I mean, the stronger picks, you're going to be certain. The lesser picture, not so certain. Sometimes I come on the show, I'm like, I don't know. We'll just see what happens when I get there. Hey, B Hawk says, who do you like with Davidson and Charlotte? B Hawk, nice to see you. I love that. Is that a desert pterodactyl right there? What is that? Is that I don't know what that is, but it looks amazing. And I'm going to preview that game here in just a moment, so stay tuned. Let's go to college basketball tonight. We might go quickly here. Though we've been here 2 hours already, so we don't want to. I know everyone Mike says they start to tune you out, Ramon. He doesn't say that, but he doesn't say that, but he's probably thinking it. Here. I don't want to mess up our algorithm here. I would have went on. I would have went on the last two nights, but we don't want to. Razor's our partner on these streams, you guys, and he's enjoying his vacation at Disney. So we don't want to be on without Razor, I don't think. Okay, Wake Forest and Michigan. Let's go to college basketball and have some good games here. Wow, Wake Forest, they're playing this one in Detroit. That should still favor Michigan here. It's kind of a home game here, but hey, you got Wake coming up here for a nice game in the ACC Big Ten matchup here in this one. You've got Wake Forest coming in 2-0 right now so far, and Michigan also with a win to open the season against the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. They only won that game by 43 points as a 24-point favorite. Wake Forest, meanwhile, with wins over American and Moorhead, but they did not cover in those games. 0-2 ATS so far for Wake Forest. What do you think of that? They didn't cover in those first two games as big favorites. They were favored by 20 and 22 points, and they won by 14 and 16. I don't know if that says anything or not, but I'm going to take Michigan here in this one. I'm going to lay it here at 16 and a half. Oh my goodness. That's why it is a show pick, if you will. It's probably down to 16 here, but it's still 16. And, it opened, I'll tell you this, it opened as low as 13. It opened as low as 12 and a half. So, I mean, I couldn't get that number or anything, but I'm going to go ahead and lay it here with Michigan against Wake. I know there's going to be plenty of Wake support out there, I think, but here we go with the chat. If you like this one, college, it won't be as long a segment because I know there won't be as many people chiming in, but chosen one on Iona today. And Curry says, Greg says Curry doesn't play for Davidson, but he did. Okay, let's see here. Michigan, Justin took the over here in this one. Yeah, it's been an avalanche of over. Justin got it. It was Wake Forest and Michigan opened 160 and a half at Sports Interaction in Canada. 160 and a half it opened. And now it's 168 and a half. Can you believe it? I was on a show last night saying go over 164. And it went up here in 6 hours or so, 4 more points. So feels like it's supposed to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to take Michigan here. Wolverines here, 4-9 Legacy. And great, yeah, hit the like button. Hit the like button. That's what hits the algorithm. And type something in at the comments. Okay, Greg here has this one. He likes Michigan as well. And the over still. Wow, Greg. All right, Bill and Mary. And hey, I'm previewing a lot of games here today. Bill and Mary taking on Richmond here. Richmond, we already talked about the steam, right? Came in on Richmond and the over here. So maybe I'm on some of these games because the lines moved on me a little bit here. And hey, the free plays, they're not quite the premiums, you guys. But both these teams coming in off a win. You had William and Mary beating Norfolk in their opener, 81-78. I think they actually covered the number in that game. Richmond, 87-72 win over ECU. I know they got the money in that game, and both games went over between these respective teams. Richmond opened 8.5 and 157, and I got to update the line on the screen because that ain't the line. It's 10, and it is 162, maybe even 162 and a half. Wow. Do I chase this steam here in this one? I mean, these are the sides that I was definitely preferring coming into this game, but I don't know anymore. I think I'm still good. I'm going to take Richmond. That seems like the lesser of two, maybe a little bit of room to breathe there. It's only 10. I'm going to take Richmond here over William and Mary here in this one. College basketball on Tuesday night. All right, we'll keep it moving here right now. And Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get your comments in the chat. Mr. Wesker's on Florida. Michigan was 15.5, but Greg says probably got it right there on the money there. It looks like maybe that's a little bit of an under in that one between William and Mary and Richmond. All right. I got to say all right because that's what Thomas likes when I say it. That means we're moving on to the next game. Okay, here we go. Dayton and Cincinnati here, Ohio battle. How about this one with Dayton and Cincy? Got two teams looking pretty good here so far this season. Dayton 2-0 so far, Cincy 2-0 as well. Dayton with wins here over Maryland, Baltimore County, and Canisius. They covered against Canisius, couldn't get the money against UMBC. For Cincinnati here, they're also 1-1 against the spread. Wins over Western Carolina in a cover, laying 22.5. But against Georgia State, they did not cover 29.5 in a 10-point win. So let's see what you got here in this one. Right now, Cincinnati is definitely a 5.5-point favorite. Total here has dropped dramatically. No, I'm sorry. Still 146.5. My bad. So here, Dayton and Cincinnati. Dayton is 0-2 to the under so far this season. That's kind of where the move seems to be coming in right now, and that's kind of what I was thinking about going with here. So let me see here on the season, on the series between these two. I know that these guys usually meet. So let's see. Cincinnati 4-2 against the spread. Their last 6 at home against Dayton. Dayton's been, like I said, so far 0-2 to the under. They were an over team last year on the road. Dayton has lost 8 of the last 12 meetings overall to Cincinnati here. Give me the under in this one with Dayton and Cincinnati. I'll take under 146. 142 was actually my target number. So give me the under here, Dayton and Cincinnati. All right, and Chosen One is on Dayton there. And Chosen One says you got a little reverse line movement there on the spread money line. There's Kelly. Good morning to Kelly. Hi, Kelly. There you are. Robert here on Dayton. And Robert's on the under here. And Justin's on Dayton. Greg says take Dayton in the points. 75-70. Okay. Did someone mention Davidson and Charlotte? There it is. Charlotte here, favored in this one by, is it 1.5 still? Yeah, 1.5. And this one's gone down here to 142 in this one. Let me update that. Definitely got to move to the under here with Davidson and Charlotte. All right, and let's take a look here with these two right now. And David, hey, got a good battle, no doubt about it. This one opened about 1.5, and to open as high as 145. So definitely a little bit of move to the under. Both teams come in 2-0 here right now. Although Davidson did play Washington State, they also had a win over an official win over a D1 team here. Dayton played DeSales and beat them 97-63 to open the season, but they did cover in the game against Washington State 85-69. Charlotte, meanwhile, has won and covered both against Indiana State and against Tennessee Tech. So 2-0 so far, eight straight up and ATS. Davidson did go over in their one lined game. Charlotte is a 1-1 so far to the total here, but I got to go under in this one. It's already taken a pretty big tumble here, lost to plenty of value. I'm still going to go under 142. It's I don't know if it got steamed, but I'm taking it. I'm taking it under. Let me see here. No, I didn't see any steam come in really. Any from the Don Best steam. I mean, there's obviously been plenty of steam here going down here, but we'll see. It's gonna be tough for Davidson actually, but give me the under here in this one. I think Charlotte probably in a pretty good position there. Let's see here. Dayton might win. Roberts on Charlotte. Davidson for Tariq, Greg says here is very close. I think he's got Charlotte there, and Robert likes the under with me. Radford in North Carolina. I mentioned it because I wanted to mention Radford here. 2-0, but they did look impressive in their one line game against Western Illinois. They did win 80-75. They did not get the money in that game, however, and they did play a non-Division I game in their first game. So, but they are still coming in here 2-0 right now. Up against the Heels here, supposed to be pretty much a blowout of 20 points or so. They played, so they opened with Western Illinois, then they played West Virginia Wesleyan. Carolina, meanwhile, wins over Central Arkansas by 40 and a cover. Win over KU, of course, with that exciting game, and they covered that one. Radford went 1-0. Went over in their one line game. UNC is 1 over and 1 under so far coming in to this one. So see if you like this matchup, but I definitely thought it was worth taking a look at here with Carolina here as a pretty big favorite against Radford. And let's see, is it still 21? No, that's right. Remember, the steam came out on Radford. Now I remember 18.5 here. If you like your discounts on these Blue Bloods, you're getting it. And this total has gone all the way up to 161. Yeah, I remember now. We had that steam come in, didn't it? On Radford and the over. Yes, we did. Okay. So, that makes a little bit that changes the complexion of things. Let me run the computer again here with this. That's a look at that 161. When we talked about the steam back when it happened, right? It was 159.5. So it went up even higher than that. And we said the game had moved to 20, and now it's 18.5. Wow. All right. Well, I'll run it again here, and I'm gonna. 161. Oh God. Oh man. I'm gonna take the over here in this one with Radford and North Carolina. I'll still go over. I don't like the move actually. I think I'm on Carolina, but we'll see. The steam's been so hot. Give me the over 161. Man, that's a 6-point tax. What a nerd I am. What a square I am here. Should have been on it last night instead of just doling out free plays on 5-point moves. All right, here we go. You guys have some plays with me here. Radford for Bobby Mack. Carolina for Mr. Westerns likes the discount. Greg has it here by 21. So I guess that's Carolina. And that's an under. Buffalo and DePaul here. Hey, Buffalo's 2-0 right now. So let's talk Buffalo basketball. Buffalo Bulls basketball here coming up against DePaul. This one's at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific today. The Bulls coming here with a 2-0 record right now. Meanwhile, has been a pretty good start also for DePaul. DePaul's 2-0. Why not look at this game? All right. For Buffalo here, they come in with lined wins over Green Bay and over Southern Miss. They covered them both. They beat Southern Miss by 6, covered 3.5, beat Green Bay by 7. DePaul beat Chicago State by 30, covered 24.5. But then when they were favored against Stonehill by 22.5, they could only win by 8. Buffalo did go over in each of their first 2 games. Meanwhile, DePaul 1 over, 1 under so far coming into this one. So let's see what you have here in this one between Buffalo and DePaul. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here up to 154. Here, got to update that. And the spread's still about 19.5. So, yeah, it did go over there a little bit. I don't know if that was the right move here, actually, but yeah, that steam coming in. I'm probably going to lay it here with DePaul at 19.5. Here, it opens 17.5, so a little bit more tax here, but I'll take DePaul to blow out Buffalo. Doesn't seem like a good call, but I'm going to do it. Robert here going under in this one. Yeah, I'd say the majority of the action from the Sharps have been on the under. Hey, hello to Eric Acevedo. He's saying it's snowing in New York City. How about that? Nine Legacy does not trust DePaul to cover a number. I don't know if I do either, but I'm not sure Buffalo. I just want to mention them here. It might be the only time we mention them all season here right now. Murray State is at SMU here on Tuesday night. We've got Murray State on the road here against the Mustangs, and Mustangs favored here by 10 in this one. Total here 163.5. Hey, at least we haven't had much of movement here with these two. All right, Murray coming in with a 2-0 record right now. Mustangs also 2-0 currently. Murray with wins over Omaha and Mississippi Valley. They covered both. They beat Omaha by 8 as a 5-point favorite. They beat Mississippi Valley by 38.5 by 48 as a 38.5-point favorite to go 2-0 ATS. Meanwhile, SMU 2 wins, 2 spread losses. They beat Tarleton by 20 as 21.5-point favorites. They beat Corpus Christi by 11 as a 23-point favorite. Not good. SMU didn't cover in those games so far this season. Now, Murray is 2-0 to the over in those games. SMU is 1-1 with the over-under here so far. But I think for me, I'm going to take the over in this one at 163.5. Murray scored so far 85 against Omaha, 108 against Mississippi Valley. SMU did score 96 against Tarleton. The game against Corpus Christi was a big-time under, but I'm going to try the over here in this one with Murray and SMU. Give me the over. All right, and it's going to be Mustangs on the spread here for Nine Legacy. Robert's on Murray. Greg says he's got DePaul back in that game, but I think that would be a cover for Buffalo. And Robert here on the under in this one. Tariq like Murray plus the points. And here we go to the next one. Whoa, look at this. Is this real life? Kentucky and Louisville right now on November the 11th? All right. Both teams 2-0. Let's grab a bucket of chicken and head on down to the Yum Center and check out Kentucky and Louisville. Both teams 2-0. It's a juicy matchup tonight with Kentucky coming in here 2-0. Wins over Nichols. They did not cover 31.5. They did cover against Valpo in a 48-point win as a 32.5-point favorite. Louisville rocked South Carolina State by 59 points as a 36.5-point favorite, but didn't cover against Jackson State. They beat them by 36, but they were laying 38.5. The current line is Louisville by 6.5 now, and the total here is 174.5. Big line for sure. But Louisville on the move here a little bit up to 6.5 against Kentucky at home. They took the steam. Steam also came in on the over in this one between Kentucky and Louisville. So great game for Tuesday night. Got to be the college football. Got to be the college basketball feature here, doesn't it? I'm going under. I got you, man. This was going to be crazy. I got you, but I'm going under with Kentucky and Louisville tonight. Yeah, they played last season. It was 93 to 85. UK won at home. They did not cover a 9.5, but man, I don't know, 174.5 right now. I got you. Supposed to be probably a track meet, but I'm going to say with this sure rivalry game. And Kentucky, they, like I said, they went under. Let's see, they went under in the game against Nichols, holding Nichols to 51. They only scored 77 against Nichols. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone over, but I'm going to try the under here tonight with Kentucky and Louisville. I'm fading that steam. I'm fading it. People say, "Oh, Ramon, he just yells out the steam and chases steam." I'm going under. Going under in this one. All right, here we go. Greg said Murray to lose by 8. Chosen one's on UK. Greg says he's got, that looks like UK to me. That looks like UK and right on the total. 9 legacy on UK. And Chosen one says, take a look at those injuries. Injuries could be a factor in this one. Fair enough. Let me see if I can get that updated status for you, Chosen one. I show acquaintance, he's got a knee injury for Kentucky, and I know that we saw him already on the injured list. And that's really, and Trent Noah's questionable. So, let me see. I got one more idea here to see if we can help out. With that status for Hadley here is I see. So he did not play. Did he not play in that last game? Is that it? After playing 21 minutes against South Carolina. I got you. Okay, thank you. Robert here on Louisville. And Robert liking the under as well. I'm going to keep going here, Mr. Weskers. I've got several more games. If you guys are okay with it, I'm okay with it. How about Texas Tech taking on Illinois here? Another good game. These are good games tonight. This feels like a good card. That's why I kind of want to see if we can get the show going. But got Texas Tech coming here 2-0 right now. They beat Linwood by 38, covered 30, but against Sam, they only won by 19 as a 31.5 point favorite. Illinois, meanwhile, beat Jackson State by 58 points as a 28.5 point favorite, and they beat Gulf Coast by 43 points as a 28.5 point favorite. Illinois has taken care of the business to go 2-0 against the spread. Texas Tech just 1-1. Both teams went clearly over in their first games out the gate here. I'm showing currently the line is Illinois favored in this one by 4.5 here right now. Down to 4. Definitely 4 and 166.5. Definitely a little bit of a move here. The steam came in on the over in this game. It was 163. Now we're up to 166.5. As the producer continues to struggle with the graphics on the fly. All right, so we'll see what you have here in this one between Texas Tech and Illinois. Good game, no doubt, here tonight in Champaign-Urbana. And for me in this one, man, that total has gone quite high. But I'm probably going to look to the side here in this one between Texas Tech and Illinois here. Man, Illinois is pasting these guys right now. And I'm going to take the Illini here at home over Texas Tech. And thank you, Chosen One. Okay, gotcha. Kentucky got players from Florida and Kansas. They're so good. Kentucky might win. Chosen One's on Illinois. Mr. Wesker's Illinois. Justin's on Illinois. And yeah, UK. What can you say about these guys? Robert on the over here. Greg says, I think that's right on. That's an over right there, I think. And I think that is probably a pick on Texas Tech. Robert likes Illinois, and Greg says it'll be a buzzer beater. Ball State and Wisconsin, my next one. Ball State comes in 2-0, although they did play a non-Division I team already, but they did have a win and cover against the Ragin' Cajuns. Meanwhile, Wisconsin comes in here with a win over Campbell, 96-64. They covered 20.5, but they failed to cover against NIU. They beat them by 25, but were favored by 28.5. So still going to be a big spread here for Ball, a big underdog here against Whiskey tonight. But I just wanted to take a look at this one with Ball. They did play Mansfield last game. So the widely reported steam did come in here on Wisconsin. That's driven the line higher here right now to 27. And the total here in this one is up to 156 and a half. So 3-point move off of the opener, 3.5-point move off the opener here with Ball State and Wisconsin here tonight in Madison. And for me, I'm going to take the over here. I missed out big time on this one, but I'll still try to play the over here at 156 and a half. Give me the over tonight with Ball State and Wisconsin. All right, and let's see here. Gooey says Kentucky money line and Iona money line. Illinois, maybe a little bit juiced. Robert's on the over, and Greg here likes Wisconsin for sure in this one, and an over it looks like. How about this one with Memphis here taking on Ole Miss? And Ole Miss is a pretty big favorite here at 10.5. This one's gone up for sure with Ole Miss. Total here, we're down to 152.5. We mentioned that widely reported steam that came in for sure. So should be a good one here. And Ole Miss comes in 2-0. Memphis comes in 1-0 right now for Ole Miss. They had wins here over Southeast Louisiana. They covered 22.5 and a 30-point win. They also beat Monroe 86-65, but they were favored by 37.5 in that one. Memphis comes in here off of a win over USF 76-60, and they got that money there in that one. These two teams so far, Memphis 0-1 to the under, but Mississippi went over in both their games so far. But this is a 3.5-point move to the under so far in this game. Opened as high as 156, maybe even 156 and a half. Looking at 152 and a half here on the 4-point move here right now. And I'm going to go under at 152 and a half. Still here with this one between Memphis and Missouri. Not doing you any favors here, but I will try the under in this one. And let's see here with Ole Miss for Robert. He likes Ole Miss. Lay the points. LMU is on the road taking on UTEP tonight. How about this one with LMU? 3-0. They're the first 3-0 team in the country here. Watch out for LMU. They did beat Lincoln of California as one of the wins, but it was one of those that you can add to your record. So they were 3-0. They beat Eastern Washington by 8 as a 9.5-point favorite. And they beat Pine Bluff by 22, just barely covering 20.5. For UTEP here, they did play, let's see, they were 1-0, but they played I think they played Western New Mexico to open the season. So this is actually their first D1 game, I think, here, if I'm not mistaken, for UTEP today. They beat Western New Mexico 107-70. They also beat Texas Permian. I don't know if that one, I guess it does count on their record here. So I guess they're 2-0, but they haven't played Division I team yet. They're going up here against LMU here tonight. And LMU is a favorite on the road with this hot start. LMU currently is a 2.5-point favorite. The total's gone down here to 145.5. So a little bit of move to Loyola, but a little bit more significant move to the under here in this one. And well, I kind of want to look at the total actually in this game for me because I want to, man, you know what? At 145.5. Nah, I can't do it. I kind of trust I'm going to trust the move here. This is one didn't come in here with a too solid a pick, but man, they're hammering this under, and you're still getting a decent price here right now. I'll try the under here. I was originally going over, but give me the under here in this one. A little wishy washy, but I'll try under with LMU and UTEP. I think I like the side much, much better. I think it'll be a premium, maybe even a high roller premium out here in this game. But okay, UTEP for Robert. And he likes the under there. That makes me feel better. 145.5. Like put Robert's pick down here. You guys don't know I write some of the, not everybody's pick. That'd be too hard. But, some of the people who support me, I guess I would say. I will say this, probably those that I know who subscribe, Robert knows, and some of the others in the chat, they might get a little preferential treatment in the chat all stars. But okay, whenever you see the half point, take the over. Oh my gosh, you'd be going over. I mean, you'd be over on half the games. I know. How about Riverside, New Mexico tonight? We're going to keep it going here. Cover a lot of games for you here on the morning steam. That's what we do. Got Riverside coming in here, taking on New Mexico in this one. You got Riverside at plus 19, maybe even plus 20 here right now. Total has dropped here for sure to 141.5 in this matchup with New Mexico here at the pit. This one opened 146. Did it get steamed? I don't know if it did. I didn't see any steam, but now I got to check. Make sure we didn't miss any hardcore steam in this one with Riverside. Riverside comes in 2-0 here so far. Wins over LaSalle. Wait, was it LaSalle? Another one where I put the wrong initials, I think. In these non-Division I games, I kind of mess up. I'm writing so fast. Why don't I just do like everybody else now and do Chat GPT? I could write my whole script. I wouldn't have to sound like a bumbling fool, and I could just read the script off on the show. How boring would that be? All right. Anyways, maybe I don't have it right now, but they did beat North Dakota 74-70 and covered. That was their only line game, so I know it wasn't LaSalle. It was like, anyway, for New Mexico here, they beat East Texas A&M by 22, but they were laying 22.5, and they also beat Arlington by 18, so they covered that one. They're 1-1 ATS. Both teams don't see this so far, but New Mexico 0-2 to the under and Riverside 0-1 to the under. We've had a lot of overs so far. Overs in college basketball so far are winning, if you know what I mean. So let's see, though, what you have here. Big number here with Riverside and New Mexico. Hey, at least it hasn't moved far enough on the side, but kind of like the total, too. And again, I missed out here. That's what I get for taking – I did take a nap here in the middle of the night. For sure. No tennis was on, All right. And for me in this one, I'm actually going to take New Mexico here and lay 19 points against Riverside at the pit. Give me New Mexico in this one. Give me the Lobos. Let's see how good they are this year. All right. And a couple moves here. Let's see. Point spread is 9, and in half they'll win by 10 or 11. Greg says New Mexico won't cover the spread, maybe 17 at best. Oh, no. Well, I took them. Santa Barbara taking on Sacramento State. Another interesting one here with Santa Barbara on the road. They're 2-0. Sacramento State is 2-0, but Sacramento State did play a non-Division I opponent there last time out. They lost to Weber. Or no, let's see. I'm sorry, they didn't lose. Let's see. Sacramento State beat Dominican and Jessup so far. So a couple of non-Division One wins coming in for UCSB, though. They beat San Jose State 85-74. They also have a non-D1 win over San Francisco State by 31 points coming into this one. You got Santa Barbara here favored on the road tonight by, I think it's gone down here. It's down way down here to 7.5. You know, sometimes I'm a steam chaser. Sometimes I'm just dumb. I bet Santa Barbara last night privately for a unit at -10. Okay, dummy me. Could have laid 7.5 here right now. Total down to 160.5. Since I totally flubbed up that bet, I'll just have to go with the total probably. The steam came in on Sacramento State, obviously, but I'm not going to double down. I'm gonna probably figure maybe I had it wrong, and I'll just go to the total here in this one between Santa Barbara and Sacramento State. I'm going to the over actually at 160.5. Give me the over in this one. And it might be actually 161.5 anyway. So, all right, and let's see here. Mr. Wesker's rail support Ramon. Where's my Gators? I don't think I had them in the preview here. I don't think who they playing. So many games. Western Michigan over. Oh, hello, Wager Detective. Nice to see you. He says take Western Michigan tonight over Ohio. I took the total under, Wager Detective. Nice to see you there. Stopping by in the chat. Awesome to have you as always. And am I following you on X? I hope so. I think you're on X, right? All right. Do I have one more lined up, or am I done? Oh, we can't forget the big one here. At least another good game. This is it. Creighton and Gonzaga. I don't know, we've already talked about this game like 3 times with the way the steam rolled in on this one, right? We know the steam came in on the under there, driving it from 167 down to 164.5 here with Creighton and Gonzaga here tonight. The steam also did come in on Creighton. That 12.5 is long gone. Right now, the current line is 11.5. Maybe some 12 out there, though. It's actually gone back up a little bit. We'll call it 11.5. Move's been on Creighton. Total's down here to 164. The move is on Creighton and the under at the kennel. So, look, Creighton's a great program. We know they've been around. They're always strong, always competitive. Gonzaga, yeah, maybe they're often overrated. Every year, right? They never get there. Creighton comes in here with a win over South Dakota State, 92-67. Did not cover. Gonzaga, 2-0. 2-0 against the spread. They covered Texas Southern, beat them by 55 as a 30-point favorite. They beat Oklahoma, of course, last time out in that good game, 83-68 as an 11-point favorite. That could possibly, I think, put you on that one, right? I'm going under in this one with Gonzaga and Creighton. I'm going to chase that steam and play that move and figure it's right. Give me the under tonight with Gonzaga and Creighton. Wager Detective maybe going under there. Oh, he's talking about the football game. And Robert going under in the Creighton and Gonzaga game. I think the show is over. And aren't you guys happy about that? Thank you for joining me, everybody, here on the Morning Steam Show. Like I said, hey, other than remember that first game, I've got the first game at, to respect to Terrell. Was he looking at the women's schedule or Iona and Missouri, Kansas City? That game goes off in 1 hour here right now. And let me see what's going on there, because we did talk about it, right? The steam came in on Iona. I don't have a graphic for it, but it's coming up in an hour, and we want to see if we got something here while we get on out of here and do the drawing. Don't forget, we've got to do the drawing right now. So make sure you guys are signed up in the chat if you want to win some picks from me here on the show. My winnable service, if you will. Oh, we got everybody in there here, so we'll try to see who wins. But let's see here with Iona. And UMKC, man, there's been a lot of steam to this under, but I don't know if it's that good here really right now. I think I'm like everybody else. I might like Iona here. What did you guys say in that one? It's right now. It's a 4. Iona by 4.5, and the total has gone down from 156 down to 156.5. Man, it's been all under here, but I don't know if it's the best move in the world. I'm going to go over in this one with Iona and UMKC. I'm going to fade the steam in this one, see how that goes. Give me over 150. What I say it was now 156. I'll go over 156 with Iona and Missouri, Kansas City. All right. Don't forget, join us here on the Sports Money. I'll be back later today, actually, at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific for VB MMA Picks. I'm going to get you ready for the action here this weekend. We've got a fight night here. Actually, we're going on the road here finally for a fight night after a couple of weeks in the Apex. So make sure you join me here today. It was UFC 322 here this weekend. So get ready. We're going to preview that main event between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev here this Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific time for the main card. Everything gets underway at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific as this one comes to us from MSG. And don't forget also the big women's fight between Shevchenko and Weili Zhang this weekend. So we'll have VB MMA picks coming out here in a few hours. That show will be at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific live here on the Sports Money Network. So make sure you're joining us for that. And maybe one more week on the Tuesday night show, but I'm trying to get a Tuesday night show together, maybe with Sean and the guys, because, hey, it's a big night of college basketball. I'd love to be on the air for a big night of college basketball every week throughout the season, because we know it's going to be a great season actually here. Thanks to everybody in the chat for their final comments as well. Justin on Gonzaga, Western Wager Detective got his stats in there for the football game. Ice Viking is here. Hello to Ice Viking. Nice to see you, Ice Viking. And let's see, Justin took by Iona. And Zoe's in the chat as well. Hello to Zoe. Nice to have everybody here for the ride. Let's go to the drawing and see if we can't get a winner here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam. And we're out of here, man. That was a long show, but just, hey, we've got to start getting into some college basketball, start to figure out these teams a little bit, right? Let's see who's going to win here right now. And going to give a 1-month subscription away to my picks if you'd like to. AOD. All right. AOD, I'll just add another month to your subscription over there. If you're not signed up, I think you are, but I'll find you and put another month in there or send me a message. Let me know if I got the right subscription, because I know it doesn't. You go by AOD in the subscription. So, all right. Got to get out of here. I've lost my voice. And don't forget, winnable.com. Let me get Mike in here. Jesus.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, great job, Mike. Bad job by me being ready here. But, hey, when you go to winnable.com, you'll see winnable.com/Ramon. You'll see my page right there. This is browser-based. You can look at it on a computer or on your phone. And then when you scroll down, you'll see the subscription here. Why not join me, as I said, for 1 month here? You see, oh, there was the stocks going up. Are the stocks going up here? 1 month there, you hit subscribe. It's pretty easy. It comes right up to another page, and you can use Google Pay. Look, it says $21.45 after the charge, but you type in that promo code, right? Steam in there. See here, we get it, and then all of a sudden you apply it, and it takes it right down to $17.16. But by the time I add a free week in there, it goes down to about 40 cents. You can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, and then of course all the plays come right up on your phone. You can set the notifications, and the great thing I love is it shows you if you're winning or losing. Here's the Alcaraz match there. I did send out -4, but the you might have taken 3.5 -125. Again, here it's kind of the same price. I know one's a push and one's not. I probably should have picked a better example here a little bit, but let's see if we had to find some winners here from last night. I know the college basketball was hot, wasn't it, last night for me? Here's a bunch of winners. We had A&T there, and it shows you when you won, too, and there's a little streak of winners we had in there with St. Louis over, Seton Hall there, and what else? Indiana State. So it's a real good app. It works really good, you guys. It's 40 cents a day to get more plays sent to your phone, just like this, with the green, in the green. Get them from Mike, Jeff, Sean. We're all on the Winnable platform. I think it works pretty darn great. And hopefully, look, I'm here with you for a couple of hours, but if you want a little update from me, for 40 cents a day, you get little updates 2, 3, 4 times a day, even 5. If you have the free picks on there as well, you can go to the same site and sign up for the free picks for free. And I send out some plays on there as well. So please support me here on the channel by doing this. It's very easy. And hey, even if you just do it once, sample it out, and you'll see the consistent information. I never take a day off, that's for sure. I want to send out more plays, kind of, but try to be fair and balanced as far as the cost and everything. But I still give you, dozen plays a day. It feels like. So thank you to all the subscribers out there supporting me, and that's why I come back to the channel every day, do the show right here. Your subscriptions keep me coming back, and your participation here on the Sports Money Network. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money, and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, or might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the